well-worn path for the Georgia Bulldogs. Fourth consecutive year in the SEC championship game. They began this season by clobbering Clemson on this field. Don't tell Kirby Smart, well, both teams are in. It's just about a bye. An SEC championship is extremely precious. And dominance under Kirby Smart, of course, you know about the two national championships. But Alabama's been an obstacle a couple times in this game. And he has got a team that wants to hunt and is hungry tonight.
Remember when they walked off that field in Austin, he said, we weren't here for photos, we were here to hunt.
There were skeptics when Texas said in 21 they were headed to the SEC. At that point, the program was down. Steve Sarkisian has built it back, and they look ready in year one.
Yeah, I think Sark's time in Tuscaloosa gave him the blueprint of what it took to compete in the SEC. And like you said, here come the Dogs right now.
Sarkisian's team, the home team, the choice of uniforms, and the players said we like the icy whites. Traditional road uniform.
I agree.
Sark looks locked in. He was play caller for the Falcons 2 years in this building, and of course for Alabama involved in some very big games here.
Yeah, his team got down so quickly in that game in Austin. To their credit, they were able to rebound and make it respectable and got within a possession in that second half. But I think he wanted another shot at this Georgia team, and especially the defense, to see if his offense can match up more favorably.
Both teams off very demanding rivalry games coming in. Texas went to College Station, very impressive against the Aggies. Defense basically pitched a shutout, but a lot went into that game. Georgia played a game we've never seen before, an 8 overtime win over Georgia Tech. So both sides digging deep tonight with this championship and a first-round playoff bye on the line. Texas fans thrilled to be here on an historic occasion. Outnumbered, but they do show up and show out.
Well, there's a ton of pride, obviously, with this fan base, and the fact they walk into the SEC and get to Atlanta in their first year. There's a lot of burnt orange in this arena tonight.
Finished 7-1 in the SEC. Was not the most demanding schedule. Not at all.
All right, guys,
what
come
Georgia
in, shake
faced.
hands, introduce
yourselves.
yourselves.
The coin toss.
All right, congratulations for making the championship game. Georgia, you're the visitor today. This is your coin. The logo is heads. The pennants are tails. The pennants are tails. The logo is heads. Make your call.
Tails.
What did he call?
Tails.
Tails. If I drop it, we do it again. It is tails. So you've won the toss. You want to defer or receive?
Defer.
Okay. You want to receive. Which way you want to go? Put your back there.
Great to have both Holly Rowe and Laura Rutledge reporting from the field. Kirby Smart's defense will be on the field first. Holly, to you.
Well, Coach, this is your fourth straight SEC championship game. What do you and your players know about what it takes to win in this moment?
Well, it takes playing really well because you're always playing a really good team when you play in this event. But the venue's awesome. Our kids are ready to play. We're excited.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
And there's big news, guys. Trevor Etienne is going to try to play. He has been out for 3 straight games. He was the most explosive weapon in the last meeting against Texas. He has a rib injury, but is wearing a Kevlar jacket and is going to give it a go. Now let's check in with Laura, who is standing by with Steve Sarkisian.
All right, Sark, you have a chance today to make history in Texas football. Why is your team ready to win this SEC championship?
You know, we're just focused on today, and literally it's been that way all week. It's been that way all season. It's been one day at a time, one game at a time. We're going to have to play good football today. It's a really good team.
All right, thanks so much, Coach.
Yes, sir.
And news here for Texas. They are without left tackle Kelvin Banks Jr. He tried to give it a go in warm-ups, couldn't make it happen, so that means the redshirt freshman Trevor Gooseby gets the start at left tackle. Chris.
Laura, thank you. Gooseby did pretty well against the Aggies. That offensive line has been dominant down the stretch. But they face a serious challenge tonight. Man, this is fun. This place is revved up. Don't tell anybody in here there's diminished importance in the 12-team playoff era. Peyton Woodring to boot it away. Matthew Golden, one of the top receivers in this Texas team, standing in his end zone. And he's going to bring it out. And looked like he tried to fake the ball across there. No one on the Georgia coverage team fooled. And Texas, which had terrible field position for most of that first meeting, backed up in the first possession.
Yeah, it's a great point and a great reminder. There's this season that Quinn Ewers has had. You can see pretty good with his completion percentage. Last 4 games, he's played some of his best football with the 10 touchdowns and most notably only 1 interception. Remember, turnovers were a big factor in that game, giving Georgia short fields to allow them to get points up on the board.
Long throw and a catch on the side by Matthew Golden. They'll take easy access if they can. The impact player is brought to us by Burger King.
Well, so much about Quinn Ewers. We talked in the open. It starts with Trey Wisner, what he can do in the backfield, 26. Matthew Golden leads a very talented group of receivers. Smile Munden missed the first game. Leadership and experience is big. And, of course, Jalen Walker, number 11.
And ball batted in the air. Golden goes up, makes the catch on the carom. And he's going to be dropped down. Getting a hand on it was that man, Mykel Williams. It was a nightmare for the Longhorns in the first meeting.
Great job by Mykel Williams. And this ball came out, you know, after he started to take off. Watch him run with it. And then it comes out. And Quinn Ewers jumps on top of that football. Heck of a job by 13 once again, being a factor early in this game.
Make a case Golden never had possession of that football.
Yep.
That would be incomplete in that case.
That's right.
And they'll stop and take a look at that. John Almond is the replay official. There is a difference where the ball be spotted for this third down play.
Yeah,
I can't see him having control at all.
No, he was running with it, but it was like he was trying to get control of it. He was in a lot of traffic.
The ruling on the field is a catch, a fumble, and recovery by the offense. The previous play is under further review.
Yeah, I don't think, like Chris, I think you're right. I don't think he ever quite. First of all, good job coming back to the ball. Look at those Georgia defenders going up to be able to intercept that ball. Allen's there, Jackson's there, and then there it is. Just kind of fumbling, rumbling, stumbling. Never really had it secured.
You can understand why he'd be stressed out. I mean, a turnover here in the first couple plays, setting Georgia up. The last thing they
Deja
need.
vu, yeah.
And in heavy traffic, it's actually a good thing that he didn't hold on.
Yeah. Goes back, what would it be, 3rd and 4 now?
And they'll spot the ball, assuming this is ruled incomplete, up at the 17-yard line, so it'll make about a 3-yard difference. Third down's a nightmare, Kirk, for Texas. This first meeting, they didn't convert their first 10, ended up 2 for 15.
After further review, the pass was incomplete. It'll be 3rd down at the 17-yard line.
Well, there's a few things that happened in that game. Number one, they got behind the sticks, so they were facing a lot of 3rd and 6, 3rd and 7, 3rd and 8s, if not longer. They're comfortable with those 3rd and 4s. Big thing is, because of the kickoff return issue being pinned way back at their own 11-yard line to start this drive, they're just looking for a first down here, just to be able to get a new set of downs and just kind of get their feet down into this game.
Jaden Blue in for Wisner, a tailback to Ewers right in this 3rd and 4. Ewers has protection, short throw, completion. Off and running is DeAndre Moore. Blazing speed. They don't just convert. They get out across or near the 40 before Daniel Harris made the stop.
Well, great patience here by Moore and also Quinn Ewers off to the right. Little whip route back inside. Look at everybody playing man coverage. So you got a lot of room to be able to pick big yards after the catch. Heck of a job by Moore, who's kind of the glue of that wide receiver room.
22-yard pickup on the 3rd down play. First down throw. Texas comes out pitching it, and that's Matthew Golden breaking free. And from backed up on third down, they're now threatening at the 41.
Who says that this offensive line without Banks can't protect? You know, here they are. It's a team that had 7 sacks in that first matchup. And Sark, instead of waiting to third down, being aggressive on this opening drive and giving the ball to Ewers and trusting him. Here's to look at that veteran offensive line. Of course, 74, the redshirt freshman in for Banks.
Off the play fake on first down. Ewers is being harassed, escapes, fights back to the line of scrimmage where Jalen Walker got him down. With Kelvin Banks not being in there, it's the first time one of the original starting 5 all season long has missed a game. They've been healthy and they've been dominant.
Yeah, that's very rare. Stackhouse, 78, able to get through the back. That was a big problem in that first game. The backs did not do a very good job of protecting. A lot of movement there up front with that Texas offensive line, and nobody got their hands on Nazir Stackhouse.
It'll go as a 1-yard sack, so 2nd and 11. We have a handoff left side. It's the kind of play they run a lot. And Travian Wisner has been so busy. Kirk, 59 carries combined the last 2 games.
What a matchup here, not just with Wisner, but that offensive line that you referred to, the experience that they bring to the table. I think they were embarrassed, to be candid, with the way that matchup went against the Dogs. I think they were anxious for their chance to come back, but I'll tell you, these first few plays, Nazir Stackhouse in the middle, a guy to keep an eye on, 78, the veteran.
3rd and 9 this time. Ewers, well protected, a long throw off the tip. It's intercepted. There's a flag down, but Dalen Everett, who had a couple of takeaways in the game in Austin, caught it off the carom there. We'll check the flag out. Isaiah Bond was the man who had a hand on it for Texas.
Yeah, they're going to get a hold, I believe, on the right tackle. So this will hold up. Cameron Williams, the right tackle, 56.
Illegal motion.
Oh.
Offense number 7. Cooley's decline. First down.
So Georgia, shades of the first meeting, a quick takeaway to snuff out the Longhorns' threat.
That's a great job. They get away with a hold because the right tackle put his arm around the neck of a defender from Georgia. But you can see he's leaning towards the line CFL style there in motion. You can't do that. Then he doesn't secure the ball, gives up on the ball. And the guy who didn't is Dalen Everett, who does a good job. Look at his eyes, trying to find the football, never gives up on it. Fingertips bring it back into him, and a huge turn of events here for the Georgia defense. Much like the first matchup, the Dogs defense again getting the turnovers.
And Carson Beck set up at the 33 with Trevor Etienne, who's really hasn't been himself for about the last 5 games. The first play is a pitch to the tight end Ben Yurosek, and having Etienne back, that rib injury, it's protected, as was mentioned, but can it withstand a hard-hitting game tonight? We hope so.
Yeah, absolutely. Tough guy, been through a lot. We talked about how he got through some adversity. I think he comes in a very good mindset coming into this game. Going to have to lead this team and make great decisions, taking care of that football.
Throwing the perimeter, and middle screen cutting back is Arian Smith, who's right near the marker. It'll be 3rd down at about a half-yard. Here's the Burger King Impact players when the Dogs have the football.
I put Nate Frazier in there. Etienne at the time was a little relevant. Well, let's see. Hold on. Let's see what's going to happen here. They're going to go for it with up-tempo.
Back under center, and trying to meet him right at the moment was Vernon Broughton. And the Longhorns say it to stop number 45, who basically wrecked the Aggies offense last time out.
Yeah, and Broughton, usually these interior defensive linemen, they try to submarine. Lowest man wins. Broughton, instead, watch him go airborne. He goes up and over. Look at 45. That's 300 pounds going up and over. And he was right. They did keep him short. Watch him at the top. Up and over the guard, and he's the one that ends up making the tackle.
Is Kirby Smart, who's got the offense out there, really going to roll the dice in his first offensive series at their own 43?
In a shotgun.
You'll just see they'll try to draw Texas off, and the play clock down at 0, so there wasn't an intention to actually gamble. And what a stop by Broughton as the Texas defense gets off the field, apparently.
Yeah, he had the big game last week against Texas A&M at Kyle Field, and steps up big. Like I said, usually you see those defensive linemen that are 300 pounds. They're going to try to get off quickly and get underneath those offensive linemen. But his decision to go up and over, he was the difference, making that stop there on 3rd and short.
Look down that defensive front, Kirk. So many grown men, as they say, so many experienced guys. 53 games for Broughton. Alfred Collins playing his 61st game tonight. Bill Norton in his 6th season.
Yeah.
Sorrell, 46th game. That's so rare these days.
It really is. It really is. I think that's why this team has confidence. The experience not only up front, but especially on the back end.
So they can't make anything happen after the interception. Now Brett Thorson, the excellent Aussie, he punted really well in the first meeting and really has throughout the season. Boots it deep. And Silas Bolden waves for a fair catch. And the second possession, just like the first one, Texas backed up. Scoreless in Atlanta.
Wants to know this is not a real leg, but this is the Taco Athletic X brace, which is over Quinn Ewer's injured ankle. This allows for players to return to the field quicker. It allows for explosiveness. They can still run in a way that they would be if they were healthy. It was developed by Mike Bean and Dr. Fred Furlick, and it is changing the game when it comes to ankle recovery, guys.
And so far, Ewers came out throwing in that opening sequence, got up to a fast start before the interception. Now they hand it off inside. The Dogs are all over it. And Weiser's going to be dropped for a loss. Raylan Wilson made the play.
The linebackers are clean because of the defensive line doing their job, and it allows them to get downhill. Raylan Wilson, this group of linebackers, they rotate because they have Smile Munden. They're able to stay fresh, do such a good job, and it frees up Jalen Walker to be able to move around a lot more with Munden back.
Two-back look, and they hand it off inside to Jaden Blue. Sarkisian says he's got to be patient with the running game. They were too one-dimensional the first meeting, but the Dogs are stuffing it.
They really are, and this is McLeod. I mean, this Georgia defensive front, watch the effort and the strength right here. This is what you're facing. I mean, look at that. That's tough on Weisner, but really didn't have much of a chase. Hayden Connor that time, who I bragged on quite a bit last week at Kyle Field, that time got handled by McLeod up front. The big story of the game again last time was the battle at the line of scrimmage favoring Georgia.
See if they come after Ewers on 3rd and 13. He launches from the goal line, thrown downfield to Golden. Golden snuck behind Malachi Starks. It's a huge play in the Dogs' territory.
Malachi Starks with the motion. You'll see after they motion out, he gets a little bit caught. See 24, he needs to be able to help out on that play much sooner, and he was unable to.
The run goes nowhere. Sarkisian will use tempo, of course, after the explosive play. Xavier McLeod in the backfield that time.
Yeah, Daniel Harris is the corner. Last time we did this game, Humphrey was there. He's gotten beaten out the last few games, so he left the team. Harris is out there. And with the motion, he did not get hands on him to slow him down, so it made him easier to be able to slide down that line, the boundary there on the right side. So Starks over a little bit late, but it would have been helpful if Harris got his hands on a receiver.
And the 50-yard gain behind the 6 on 2nd down. Ewers over the middle, and wide open is Isaiah Bond, the former Crimson Tide player who was a serious problem in this game against Georgia last year.
Well, the motion right here, just eye candy, can affect communication. Blitzing that middle linebacker frees up some room behind those linebackers. That is a staple of the Sark offense. Loving the play action levels concept and working that 15 to 18 mark downfield.
Ewers pump fake and now launches wide open off the fingertips of Gunnar Helm. There are flags down. He had him and just threw it a little too far.
It would have come back. That's offensive pass interference on Isaiah Bond. Watch him on the outside. This is my opinion anyway. He runs
pass
right
interference. Offense number 7.
Yeah.
15-yard penalty. First down.
Made it look a little bit too obvious running into Aguero, the nickel back. So this ball would have come back anyway. But when you play man coverage against Sark, you're going to get a lot of rubs. You're going to get a lot of screens. A lot of different things, mesh routes, anything he can to affect that combination of man coverage underneath, and then what the safeties do behind that. So Georgia catches a break there.
Devastating penalty, offensive pass interference. Usually kills a drive. Creates a 1st and 25, like at the 36. And downfield, pitched into the end zone, incomplete. Golden, that time was pretty well covered by Daniel Harris.
Well, that's going to be a battle at the line of scrimmage. Sark again, I think he just sees a huge advantage that he can win on the perimeter with these receivers against these corners. Testing Harris that time. Not bad coverage, and Harris has great length. And at the end, that right hand gets in there enough to be able to affect the timing of that. But the ball right on the money, giving him a chance there on the touchdown.
And this is his first start against SEC competition. It was UMass and Georgia Tech when he took over for Humphrey, beating him out. 2nd and 25, back to Blue, and they're all over him. That was Jalen Walker making the play. These Texas backs are a big part of the offense. Dogs keyed in on them.
Boy, Jalen Walker, such a big impact with 3 sacks in the first matchup. Watch him there to the outside. He actually saw this coming the entire way, baiting the offensive lineman to come out into space and use his athletic ability to go right around him and make a play on the screen. Great play there by 11.
So in 3rd and 27, the penalty. Back to my out of field goal range. Can they pick up a little something here? Well, Weisner's got other ideas. He's going to be stopped back near the original line of scrimmage by Dan Jackson, but now they are in range for Bert Auburn to get points on the board.
I think that's what that was really about, and I think they picked up more yards maybe than they really anticipated. Good job, Weisner. One thing he does, he gets north and south in a hurry with that acceleration. Gives Auburn a much better chance here for the Horns to try to take a lead.
This from 41 yards. Auburn, a lot fewer field goal attempts this year than last. Kicked a bunch last year. This year, a lot of extra points. And straight down the middle. So, despite bad field position, that big 50-yard play gets Texas in position. 9 plays, 64 yards.
Chip on ABC is presented by Ice Cold Dr. Pepper. College football, it's a pepper thing. And in part by the United States Marine Corps.
One of the biggest games in the history of Del Carolla Stadium, and the Dogs owned it. A couple of legends in Georgia defense here to watch tonight. Richard Seymour, late 90s. Brilliant Champ Bailey, kind of that same era of Georgia football. A couple of Longhorn quarterbacks here, V.Y. and Colt McCoy. Up in the turn orange.
What a run that was.
Of course,
back to back.
Minister of Culture.
Yeah.
The lucky jacket.
Hey, if the Horns are in a big game, he's here with the jacket, the shades, and the hat.
He told me he's ready for a long postseason ride. I think they're just getting started.
Clear out the calendar.
Will Stone, the lefty, to boot it away. And Cass Jones lets it sail over his head. So Georgia coming up very short in the 3rd and 1 in their first possession. Goes back to work. And, of course, you mentioned the connection to Nick Saban. Kirby Smart cutting his teeth in Tuscaloosa before becoming a rival. And then Steve Sarkisian, offensive coordinator there. And both guys learned so much of how to operate a program, how to build and how to motivate. And they're their own men.
Oh, yeah.
Lots of Nick.
I think that's the key. You learn so much from the greatest to ever do it, but then you have to be yourself. And I think both these guys have been able to manage that. It's a fine line.
Those guys are the only 2 Alabama assistants able to beat Saban, and the first carry for Trevor Etienne is a negative yardage play as Michael Taft got in there.
Yeah, I mean, as soon as they recognize this, you'll see Taft get downhill in a hurry because they know that they want to get the hands into the football into the hands of Etienne. As soon as he gets out there, Texas doing a good job of expecting run there on that 1st and 10. Taft came down and made a great play.
Given good field position, it was Etienne's runs that really set the tone. Build that big 23-0 halftime lead. 2nd down. It's back launching to Smith, and he's looking for a flag, and there is a late flag He was lobbying Malik Muhammad in coverage, and it will be pass interference.
Yeah, that right hand, once Smith went by him, he had a nice move, a little stutter and go. And with his speed, he's going to go right
Pass
by
interference.
Muhammad.
Defense number 5. 15-yard
Right there, he
penalty.
grabs him.
Automatic first down.
Anytime you see a corner grab and then put his hands up, what me? Usually guilty of something. And boy, that's Smith. That's why I made him one of the impact players. Has had some drop issues throughout his career, but has the potential of such a big play threat. That time, great job off the ball beating Muhammad. And he'll be doing that more tonight, trying to make that big play for backing the Dogs.
Penalty moves the football to the 39. Etienne in the pistol. He's got it again, and they swarm him. He bounces off contact, but will lose more yardage. Ran right into Baron Sorrell, who didn't get him down, and Trey Moore was there along with Hill.
Boy, this is a really good job off the edge. You know, you've got to be able to anticipate this kind of potential of what Etienne can do. But right now, Texas, they're saying, hey, it's not just Georgia that's got a great defensive front. Look at Texas. Texas feels that they are as physical and as athletic and experienced as any defense in the country, and Sorrell showed us there.
Monroe Freeling forgot to block him. Huh? He came clean
right off
the edge. Ended up losing 5. Nate Frazier spells Etienne. Texas brings some late pressure up the middle. Beck pats the ball and now pitches it as he was going down. Flags are down. Anthony Hill got him down. Grounding is the obvious suspicion on this play. There was no attempt to really complete the pass there. Did they hit him in the head, though? Was it something?
There was Hill got
pressure
to him after he released the football.
There are 2 fouls on the play. Personal foul, roughing the passer, 0 defense. Intentional grounding, number 15 offense. Penalties offset, 2nd down.
Anthony Hill's a force, man. Top tackler, top sack guy, top tackle for loss guy, top everything on this defense.
No doubt. Taft took away that curl route, almost jumped it. Beck thought better. You can see the roughing there, and then the grounding as well.
What about the roughing?
Yeah. Bill, what do you think of that on the roughing call?
I'm not a fan of that call. I think he's just in there, and he's fallen down.
Yeah.
So him getting hit in the head, that was incidental.
The offset, so 2nd and 15 again. That's Etienne in motion. They get the football to him in the flat. He's got a couple of blocks. Picks his way to the outside and is forced out at the 40. Delp and Lucky, 2 tight ends, created a 6-yard gain. Holly?
Well, guys, this is huge that Trevor Etienne is able to play in this game. He's missed 3 games with those ribs that have been injured. He is their most dynamic guy against Texas. He was the biggest threat offensively in their last meeting. And when I talked to him a few weeks ago at practice, he said it's been really frustrating. The ribs just heal when they heal. There's not a lot that they can do, although he's tried a lot of different treatments. They just had to heal on their own, and he looks good so far.
Yeah, hurt against the Gators. Tried to come back against Ole Miss and then has missed the last 3. On the slant, incomplete. Going up high was Dylan Bell off of his hands. And the team that has more drops, Kirk, and anyone in the FBS has another one there.
Well, I think he felt Makuba, the safety, starting to read this and does a good job of coming up fast enough. You see how he flashed, driving down on that throw? I think that may have affected. Ball tipped at the line of scrimmage as well by Trey Moore. And I think 4 coming up does a really good job because of how quickly he reacted to that throw.
So Thorson on again. Golden standing at his 12. High, deep boot. And Bolden is going to let it bounce into the end zone. And Texas will have their best field position of this game so far. A lot of defense so far in Atlanta on the Horn side. Safely in. The winner would get that bye and get ready for the Sugar Bowl in the quarterfinals. Loser likely to host a playoff game.
Yeah.
Different Texas.
Very different.
11 of the 12 locked in before today.
Right.
Strange, isn't it?
It feels strange. We got 12 teams, but not as much drama.
No, I think that was not what we expected. It's been a tremendously dramatic stretch run in the sport. All these interconnected results. But now it looks like if Clemson wins the ACC tonight on ABC, they'd go in along with SMU. If they lose, it opens up a spot for another SEC team, perhaps Alabama.
Yeah, I don't know how it's going to shake out. I'm looking forward to watching and seeing it tomorrow.
Handoff. Wisner running hard, running aggressively. That's what he's done down the stretch. He got 10 that time in the first end of the 35.
Well, how about Gooseby, the left tackle, in for Banks, doing a nice job here. See the late movement from Georgia, trying to affect the communication of the offensive line. They do their job, but if you've not watched Texas a lot this year, this 26 has been a remarkable story. Wisner is physical, very, very tough to bring down. Did not have the job at the beginning of the year, but through some injuries, he sure has earned his opportunity.
They fake it to him. Ewers off the blind side. That was the problem before in this first meeting, and Chaz Chambliss got him on the blitz.
Yeah, you would think coming on the blind side it would be Gooseby, but instead they moved the tight end. That's Gunnar Helm trying to pass pro. And that is a hard ask against Chambliss, who's become one of the better pass rushers on this Georgia defense. I think that's the area he's improved the most. What a matchup that favors him, and he takes advantage of that. Now they get Texas again behind the sticks.
That's the 6th tackle for loss and 2nd sack already for the Dogs. Again, 7 in the first meeting. Handoff and fighting to get a couple of yards. Wisner couldn't escape the grasp of Smile London.
Well, it's great to see Smile London back on this defense. Missed 4 games, including the Texas game. And I think more than anything, a guy that's played in national championships and SEC championships, best communicator out there, just his presence on the field for Georgia gives the rest of this defense, I think, a feeling that they can accomplish even that much more with him being out there.
Final 30 seconds of the quarter. Texas facing a 3rd and 14. Pressure comes. Ewers on the move. Clips it downfield. Going up and making the catch is Golden. His 2nd huge play. Again, he beat Daniel Harris.
Yeah, this Texas team has lived off of the big play all year. 3rd most in the FBS with 20-yard plays. Already 4 tonight. They clearly are going after Daniel Harris. Great job of improvising by Ewers, who got flushed out of the pocket. We saw him move around against A&M, even with the gimpy ankle. Does it again tonight. How about the location of that football there on that big play for the Horns?
Golden at a 50-yarder and a 32-yarder. Texas on the move here. Georgia with 9 yards of offense in the first quarter. Back after this message to the word from your local ABC station. You're watching the SEC Championship on ABC. Championship on ABC, presented by Dr. Pepper. You got more shots taken by the Longhorns than any bar on 6th Street in Austin, right?
What an improvement around this stadium that they've made. It is beautiful here. Congrats.
Different philosophy from Sarkisian. This is a short pitch on the edge. Wisner has some space, lowers the shoulder, and powers for about 6.
We got a kick out of this when we were at the break. I think we saw it live, but you got to keep your eye right here on Kirby. He's down there. He's trying to make a play, trying to help out, trying to help Daniel.
His face knew it was going to happen.
Look at him in the background.
Body English couldn't help.
Going back to those safety days.
Gets the ball wide. Wisner turns the corner. About 3 or 4 flags come in as they grab the face mask around the edge.
You got a holding call that'll come back from Texas, and then you got a face mask that came in when he was running with the football that'll be called on Georgia. So 2 fouls here that I saw.
That's the kind of pass play we've seen from Texas a lot this season.
There are 2 fouls on the play. Holding, offense number 2. Personal foul, face mask, defense number 7. Penalties offset, 2nd down.
That was Matthew Golden who was trying to help out there. There's the obvious face mask that Harris has.
But a different approach, Kurt.
We're going to show an impressive graphic because Quinn Ewers, most of the year, there's the hold by 2 right in the middle. Most of the year, it's been a lot of screens, a lot of underneath, a lot of yards after the catch. Look at that. Downfield, attacking, especially at number 7, Daniel Harris.
Jaden Blue's in the game. That's off the hands of DeAndre Moore. A high fastball that he couldn't haul in.
That's a tough ask. You get in there in the middle of that defense where you got a safety coming downhill on you. You got a linebacker. He fires it in there. He gets it to him, but all around him there are red jerseys coming.
I know, but coach, you got to make that play.
Yeah. I'm with you, but that's a tough one with a fastball coming at you like that. With those safeties coming downhill. Let's see what they do on third down.
Need 5. Been sharp on third down so far. Pressure comes, and it's checked down. The catch is made right at the marker by Moore that time. Where are they going to spot it? Malachi Starks got him down. He's going to be about a yard short, and here's a fourth down decision.
Boy, his route had it beyond the first down, but the football brought him back.
Arch Manning coming in the game.
Yep.
He's been a situational player. He's an effective runner. Ran for a touchdown against Texas A&M early in that win. Dogs will be expecting that.
Remember, Haynes King gave this defense fits last week. A dual threat running quarterback.
Play clock at 5. It's not snapped to Manning. It's snapped past him. Little wrinkle, and Jaden Blue dives for a first down.
Well, all eyes are on 16, right? All eyes are on 16. They're going to run it here instead through the legs and directly to Blue. It's a heck of a job by the center. All the Georgia defense, anytime 16 comes in the red zone or short yardage, he's going to carry it. How about the center?
Jake Majors has seen it all in college football, and apparently he can also do this.
Snap right through the legs. Heck of a job there. Good call by Sark.
And you're right. All eyes were on Manning. He might not be done for the night. This is Wisner bouncing it. We expect, with the ankle not 100% for Ewers, that Manning could play a role tonight. Flag a game down.
Especially after Haynes King last week. That one's on Isaiah Bond. So these receivers on the edge, I guess, with the run game, they're locking up on some of these Georgia defenders. That one's going to come back too. Look at Sark, frustrated.
Holding, offense number 7. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. First down.
Sark's a masterful play caller, one of the more innovative minds in a game. But there's 7. Starks goes in. He's just reacting to the ball carrier who's working outside. We've seen that 2 or 3 times now.
Tough start for Bond. Who had the ball go off his hands, Kirk. He's back in his home state. Buford, Georgia native. Penalty makes it 1st and 18. Ewers swallowed up by the pressure and dropped for a short sack. It closed down the edge, and then Warren Brinson came through the middle and collapsed the pocket.
They have so many guys that can affect a quarterback. Here he is. They've moved him around because of some of the depth, depending on the down and the distance. And here, that's just good coverage downfield that allows that defensive front, Brinson, who's known more as a run defender but has great quicks. Over the years, think about some of the pass rushers. They've had Jalen Carter, Jordan Davis, Jontavian Wyatt, Devontae Wyatt, another one.
Second and 20. Ewers pitches it short. Blue is going to be dropped for a loss. They're going the wrong way. Raylan Wilson stopped the running back, and they're now back out of field goal range.
Yeah, Georgia's not afraid to play man coverage, and even though Ewers is attacking these corners, it continue to play man to man. This time it's the defender right here. He does a nice job eyeing it, and this is a big key for Georgia against the skill of Texas. Can you make plays out in space, especially with the linebackers? Great job there by Wilson.
Had a first down at the 25, flirting with the red zone. Now they're out of field goal range. Need to do the same thing last time. Oh, Ewers was caught off guard by the snap. Still makes the catch and the completion, and just like last time, Kirk, too far to make the first down, but Moore's going to get yardage and make it a more comfortable field goal attempt.
Heck of a job by Ewers just to secure this. He's looking around. Ball comes back. Whoop. Thankfully, it hits him in an area where he can use his athletic ability to be able to secure it.
Could have been worse.
Could have been a lot worse. Yeah, so snap comes early. Ewers gives him a chance now with another field goal.
Auburn, this from a yard longer than his 41-yard make earlier. And this one straight and true. So a 56-yard play. Texas stalling with a penalty, but up 6-0. Sarkisian frustrated Kirk. Penalties stalling that drive.
Yeah, that's what he said. Something, then penalties. He's frustrated. Say it again.
What he's happy about, though, is his defense. I mean, this Texas defense has been the elite unit in the SEC all season long. Georgia has run 7 plays. 9 yards is their worst offensive output in a quarter since they played in the Sugar Bowl, these two teams, the 2019 season.
Look at Texas, almost 200 yards. And think about this. You're only down 6-0. I mean, how fired up Georgia's got to think, you know, hey, guys, that game hasn't gone our way, but we're down 6. Let's go.
Definitely true, but they got to find a way to move the ball against this defense, which is salty again. Holly?
Well, this Georgia offense has been sitting on the sideline for so long. Just now, they're trying to really start moving around. The offensive line yelling at each other, let's go, let's go. You saw that time of possession. They've been sitting more than playing, and they know this is the time they've got to pick it up and go on a drive. They're trying to do that by giving each other energy over here, guys.
Well, remember, the first time these guys matched up, it was all about the turnovers in a short field. It wasn't as if Georgia went up and down the field. I mean, they had a short field, and especially in that first half, that's where they got most of their points.
They held under 300 yards offense for the game. After that fast start, really had one productive drive late in the game that salted away, but you're right.
Well, Texas's mantra up front is being able to use these defensive linemen who are very athletic. Broughton leads the way, but Alfred Collins is also a great player, and that time 95. Good job with the hands and quickness to get off the ball. Georgia's got to be able to run the ball and take some of the pressure off of their pass game and off of the quarterback and offensive line.
Don't let 95's big belly fool you. He's nimble and pretty quick for a 320-pounder. And a flag comes out. This running play produces about a yard.
There may have been a
Youngala foul made the play.
Defensive lineman may have lined up in a neutral zone there. Like Ethan Burke, 91.
Point in that direction.
Offside. Defense number 91.
Man.
Lined up in the neutral zone. 5-yard penalty. Second down.
Self-inflicted wounds, yeah.
Another Sark getting frustrated. Here he is right down here. Line just trying to get a little advantage there. Good call by the officials.
4th penalty makes it 2nd and 3. Dogs need every break they can get at this point, trying to get a play that will spark this offense. Texas playing up close to the line. They're not fearing downfield shots, but over the middle, harassing the tight end, find a little spot in the zone there. Catch moves it into Texas territory, got 19.
Lovett goes in motion, and when you see this, I want you to watch to the reaction of the linebackers and what they do and how they get downhill thinking about the run game. Once they get downhill, now they're lost. They're in no man's land. Anthony Hill realized it was play action. By the time he looks around where the ball's going, goes right past his ear hole for a first down.
He's been the big weapon so far, if you can call it that. 2 catches. They are finally in Texas territory for the first time. Etienne picks his way. Trevor Etienne makes a cut and bursts forward for a solid 7 yards on first down.
Really, really good job there with that jump cut, the vision to wait on the block against Bill Norton. That had a chance to be stopped at the line of scrimmage. He does a good job of waiting, and then works around that block by Dylan Fairchild, who is locked up on Bill Norton 15. Those are the little things that go a long way with a talented back like Etienne. Instead of it's 2nd and 10, you're looking at 2nd and 2.
Frazier, they fake it to him. Beck sprints out, flips it short. Catch made by Oscar Delp. The tight ends heavily involved. Another first down gain down to the 31.
Yeah, I just talked about the importance of this run game because it, like any offense, it opens up other aspects and it gets that defense being concerned about the run, and then you can get the play action game going. And we've seen the athletic ability of Carson Beck. He has no problem at all getting out on the edge and challenging this defense, especially when they're out of position. An easy throw for that first down.
Frazier Quick burst, falls forward for about 4 before Andrew Mukuba got him down.
Good blocking angles there on that counter play. Couple pullers coming around. Fairchild, Yursek. What a different feel with Nate Frazier. He's more of a hammer, more of a north and south slasher compared to ETN, who has that ability of those jump cuts and can accelerate, but more of a patient back with the experience he has.
7 touchdowns scored in the last 5 games for Frazier, who's grown up a lot, Kirby Smart says, stepping into this role. Beck has time, delivers a thought, and it's off the hands of Arian Smith. Something that we have seen a lot of.
I just, he's not a natural ball catcher. Watch him jump. Why does he jump right there is what I want to know. There's no reason to jump. The ball is thrown right on the money, and yet he goes into the air. You know, I think that's like a crutch to try to help him use his body to secure the ball, but he's a great player, but man, that's been a big problem for him. 36 drops this season for this Georgia team, most in the country.
3rd and 5, back under pressure, Karam, and incomplete. Closing in was Mukuba, who thought he could pick it off the bounce, and it's 4th down.
Now that's good pressure from Texas. They decided to dial it up. They walk up the pressure. Anthony Hill comes a little bit late. That ball is late over the middle. This defense is too athletic to try to make that play. What a job there. The little backhand there by Barron, who's been such a valuable player for this defense. Bouncing from nickel out to that outside corner spot.
So Peyton Woodring on, trying to get 3 out of this best Georgia drive so far from 44 yards, and the kickers doing their job tonight, but the drop by Smith really kind of doomed the drive. Dogs cut the lead in half, 6-3, midway 2nd quarter.
Time again going after Daniel Harris, but no touchdowns at this point. See the numbers, 11 to 15, the 1 pick.
Off the hands of Bond that time.
Yeah.
He's been sacked 3 times, but man, this is just a different Georgia pass defense. Very different from what we've seen. I mean, beaten deep frequently. Think of like Ryan Williams, the contested catch.
Oh, yeah.
Alabama against 2 Georgia defenders. Mississippi State had a bunch of downfield shots. It's a defense that's given up 12 touchdown passes and only has 6 picks. That's just different.
Right. I don't think the corner play they've had over the years, they've been pretty spoiled here, the way Kirby has recruited and developed.
Well, 12 noon Eastern time on ESPN, the extravaganza begins. The reveal of the exclusive rankings, the 12 teams. Boise State doing a good job at the field.
Yeah.
They lock up them.
Yeah, how about
Arizona
Arizona
West.
State looked dominant.
Sure did.
I mean, they're not only are they physical with Cam Scadaboo, but they're also, the quarterback Sam Levitt gives them a chance. They're playing with a swagger right now. They're going to be a fun team to watch in the playoff. Look out for ASU.
Where do you seed them? That's a question.
Yeah.
You sort of assume they might be the 12 seed, not so fast. Ewers, long throw, incomplete. It was too low for Wingo.
Guinea comes out throwing. Ball downfield, soft coverage. Remember what we thought, boy, they got to really establish the running game. Wisner, take some of the pressure off of this offensive line where they struggled in pass pro, but Sark, at least in his first half, is taking his chances, throwing the football.
And the slant catch made. Silas Bolden running free. The former Oregon State Beaver shoved out of bounds, and a flag comes in, so the gain to the 45. 15 more moving into Georgia territory.
What a job of just keeping this play alive by Bolden on that quick slant. Definitely a mistake, a mental error by Munden on the sideline. That's what Kirby's talking to. Remember I talked about how tough this is a tough catch when you get in here because of what's coming after you catch it. Look who he bounces
Personal
off
foul,
of.
unnecessary roughness. Number 2, defense. 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
You know, I mean, he's well out of bounds, and that's your veteran. We keep bragging about the fact he's back in the game, Smile Munden. I mean, look at this. Plays over and just throws him.
How about Bolden? We saw him make plays for Oregon State a year ago. Talk about a guy who's 5'8", 160 in the middle of all those big bodies.
Bouncing off of Dan Jackson, who's as ferocious a hitter as there is at the safety position in the SEC. Just bounced off of him.
Play fake on first down. Ewers long throw sideline. It's knocked away. Wingo got his hands on it, and Dalen Everett delivered the blow to knock it loose.
Well, they use max protection with a couple tight ends, Davis and Gunnar Helm. Gives him enough time on 1st and 10 with that play action look, but unable to hold on to the football.
Both sides having trouble holding out of the ball.
Yeah,
receiving course.
Yeah, and that ball's easily caught out of bounds for a first down, but through his hands.
Two-back look, blue motioning out, and Ewers down the middle and catching it and taking a huge shot. Jackson delivered the blow, but Silas Bolden, another big play.
We just said that Dan Jackson's one of the more ferocious hitters in the SEC, and this is what we're talking about. And Chris talked about the size. He's 160 pounds taking that hit. He knows it's coming, too. Brace yourself, and then to hold on to the football. Well done by Silas Bolden. That's guts right there.
They went to the portal and got 3 players. I wondered why Bolden hasn't made a bigger impact. Very talented player. They got a lot of guys who can hurt you. And after a quiet season, 2 big plays here. Meisner off the right side.
And thanks to the officials for just letting us have this the SEC championship. Safety blowing him up. No flags. Clean play. Took the hit like a man. First down. On to the next play. Thought we might get defenseless player or something's coming, but instead, game on. Football.
Yeah.
That's what we do.
Texas, incredibly dominant first half, trying to add to this lead before halftime. On the move, Ewers backpedals and has to just throw it away. Looked like he wanted to go back in the wheel route, but Weisner was well covered that time.
Sark is pulling a lot of these linemen on these, giving these false reads to affect the linebackers, and it's working. He's getting these guys to fly up to try to be concerned more about the run game, but that time no one open downfield.
Well, there's a 3rd down play. They're in field goal range, and also in the red zone, trying to finally get to Pater this afternoon. Three receivers to the left. Ewers is looking that direction, and now launches into traffic. Very, very lucky to avoid an interception by Daniel Harris. Risky throw.
Risky throw. I think he just kind of assumed it's man coverage. 7 at the top, just kind of sinks back in coverage. I think he thought he had him isolated against number 8. Instead, Harris sits back there. The ball, it's almost like he could have called a fair catch. It was right there to be had. He just drops it.
Georgia fans screaming, wait a minute, we had a chance to end the drive. Instead, Auburn tries to go 3 for 3 in this first half. This from 37 yards, whistle before the snap. And it's a false start, so he'll get backed up 5 more. It'll be another 42-yard attempt.
False start, 80, offense.
You know,
5-yard penalty.
Quinn Ewers, as
down.
good as he is, 33rd career start tonight, he does get fooled from pre-snap to post-snap. They got him a few times. He threw a couple picks in the game against Georgia where they showed man and then dropped to zone. They motioned her like a trips receiver look. He thought it was man. That's why he took the shot, and he threw it right into the hands of his safety. Lucky, very lucky, it wasn't picked.
So now from 42. Auburn hooked it and missed it, and Texas comes up empty. So the 5-yard penalty was important. That would have been good from 37. That had been kicked the same way. And the Dogs still hanging around, completely dominated, but down only 3, 4:36 left before halftime. Longhorns have reached Georgia territory on all 4 possessions. They've been in scoring position in a few of them, but the missed field goal keeps it 6-3. Dogs chance to turn around this half here.
Chris, he sees this blitz, noticed it. Now, he might just be using it as a decoy, but he changed that play because feeling Barron may be coming. He ends up not coming.
Hands it off to Cash Jones, who's just swallowed up and knocked down after a short gain by Ethan Burke.
Yeah, he did a hard count. He saw Barron kind of showing that he might be coming, completely checks out of the play, goes to a run. They've been struggling on 1st and 10 tonight. In 6 first-down plays, only averaging about 2 yards on 1st and 10. Puts them behind the sticks and more often struggles on 3rd down. They've not converted on a 3rd down yet tonight.
Yeah, 0 for 3. Off the fake, Beck drops back and fires down the middle, incomplete. Michael Taft was in good coverage against Lawson Lucky, broke it up. Laura?
Well, Chris, we just saw Za'Darius Barron with another opportunity, and he's been on this sideline saying, look, he is going to throw us interceptions. We have to capitalize. He was frustrated with himself because he thought he's missed a couple opportunities in this game. And remember, guys, he told us when we talked to him about the chess match with him and Carson Beck. A lot of respect for this Georgia quarterback and the way he sees the game.
Beck started out 5 for 5, Laura, 4 incompletions since then. ETN in the game on 3rd and 6. And Beck will launch downfield on the edge. 50-50 ball. It's broken up. Bell well covered again. It's Gavin Holmes down there, and it's 4th down. Bump team.
Good coverage by the Texas defense. There's a one-on-one matchup, but good tight coverage there by Holmes, the backup corner. Watch the young freshman 11. Little move, little hesitation move, works around Freeling, and enough, I think, for Beck. That receiver's not open, but he had to get rid of the football. Good job of pressuring that time on 3rd down at his blind side by the freshman Simmons.
The pass game continues to be dysfunctional for the Dogs. Another punts. Thorson just gets one of the jet stream. And there's not going to be many fair catches whenever Silas Bolden is back there. He just doesn't believe in them. Makes the catch and is driven back. Nice play by Arian Smith. See the charging down there. There's Timothy Chalamet. He was on game day here. He's got a new movie coming out, new series coming out, Complete Unknown. Jimmy Pitaro, ESPN president, hanging with him.
He was good on game
I thought he brought some knowledge.
Yeah, I asked him. I said, man,
who'd he pick here?
You're all over it. He went with Texas because of McConaughey. A buddy of his in the industry. So he said, I think everybody except Pat went with Texas. Pat had a fun little up and down with the horns.
I saw that.
Yeah.
Our friend Lee Corso, unable to go there. He
picked Texas.
He wanted to say, pick Texas.
Yep.
Today and still to win the
forever.
championship.
He picked them in July, so all the way.
Shout out to Lee.
Yes, sir.
See you back soon. Weisner. Stutter step, picks his way for about 1.5 yards. Now it's Sarkisian with 3.5 to work with before halftime.
Won't be in a real big hurry, but still will be aggressive. You know, he's just continuing to, he's not going to abandon the run game, obviously. It's become a real strength of theirs. I almost feel like they're a run-first kind of team, but tonight with this matchup, they feel it's more favorable, taking some shots against this secondary.
Weisner a whole bunch of yards after contact. He just ran through tackles with the Aggies. Hasn't been able to get free tonight. Matthew Golden has been busy on the edge. Got a block from Moore before Aguero tackled him.
Yeah, that's the obvious run-pass option, where if you have a couple receivers against one defensive back, instead of running it into a loaded-up line of scrimmage, just flip it out there and try to get some positive yards, give you a chance here on more manageable 3rd down.
Georgia has not been elite defending 3rd downs this season. Another startling stat about this smart defense. From the pocket, pass delivered, 1st down. There's DeAndre Moore hanging onto the football, picked up 7 there across the 30.
Yeah, like I said, they talk about him being the glue of a very talented wide receiver room. I'd love to see him not only catch the ball, but I'd love to see the fight after the catch there just to make sure he got the 1st down. This will change the philosophy. We get to the 2-minute timeout. Still all 3 timeouts. Plenty of time for Texas to work into field goal range, if not more.
Ewers, 15 completions, 217 yards so far.
That's like Poppy shot, just getting out.
You can get more passes off that way, right?
Yep.
You with that long, slow wind-up delivery, that would be a problem.
That would be a problem. Rapid fire.
2 minutes to go here. Moore comes in motion. And Ewers backpedals, checks it down. There's the first target and catch for Gunnar Helm. Top receiver on this team in catches and in yards. Hadn't done a thing tonight until that 11-yard gain.
Yeah, Sark is known for his screen game, and here's the look right here. Just kind of watch him block. He'll hesitate, hesitate, hesitate. Line gets downfield. Good job by Ewers waiting. Drops that over top of the defense in a pass rush. Gave the defense enough time to sink in coverage, so he had a lot of room after that catch.
Cam Williams, the starting right tackle, had to come out of the game. Helmet came off, so he is subbed out.
Brandon Baker, the freshman, comes in.
Hesitation. Wisner. That play looked messed up from the start. Then as he tried to make a cut, he slipped down for a loss of 2.
Yeah, that was a slow developing play there. Watch Ewers fakes it to nobody, and I think Wisner maybe went the wrong action there. Play took way too long to develop. Clock is moving. All 3 timeouts.
Sark doesn't spend one. Minute 7 as they snap it. Ewers under pressure, escapes, and a flag comes out in the offensive line area as he dives for a short gain. Is another penalty going to kill a Texas drive?
Well, let's keep a camera on Sark, because I know he's pretty upset about these holds. It's the big danger of a quarterback stepping up and out.
Holding. Offense number 56. 10-yard penalty. Second down.
You know, as the quarterback steps up and out and the defense reacts, it puts those offensive linemen in a tough spot. That's a 6th flag on Texas in this first half, right?
Cam Williams, one of the most penalized players in the FBS. I think it's his 13th penalty this year. He's had some holds. He's had some false starts. It's been a problem.
Yeah.
Moves the ball all the way back, Kirk, to the 31 now. It's 2nd and 22 inside of a minute remaining.
Remember, Georgia does get the ball. They deferred, so they get the ball to start the second half.
See if that penalty changes the thinking or if they'll stay aggressive. Off the play fake, 4-man rush. Ewers on the move again. Long pitch. Helm dropped it. The dropsies on both sides tonight. Normally reliable tight end, trusted target.
Well, this is the beauty of being able to rush 4 and drop everybody back in zone. You force the ball to go underneath. You're right. It's just not something you'd expect to see from Gunnar Helm. One of the more reliable tight end targets the whole year. 6'5", 250. Probably improved the most from last year to this year as well.
Now it's going to be Kirby Smart who's going to be interested in stopping the clock. If they can get off the field on 3rd and 22. Wisner bounces it, does stay in bounds, and that'll force Smart to take the first time out there, and Texas will punt it away with 43 seconds left.
Yeah, the miscue, the mistake, the holding call, drop football. That's the one theme for Texas. They've had chances. They've missed some opportunities. They've had drops. They've had some penalties. They've been in plus territory, I think, every possession with the exception of this one. And they only have 6 points.
Punting for the first time will be Michael Kern. Meanwhile, we'll be checking with McConaughey and Saban. Maybe you know, Matthew's going to join Nick and those guys for the Capital One halftime report.
Look at my coach. Look at him smiling, having a time of his life. He's not down there stressing out about 3rd downs. He's hanging out with Matthew McConaughey.
Well, Matthew's definitely not stressed.
Oh, no.
I mean, he's more stressed than he looks. But
no, I'd say Coach Saban. How many times have we seen him on these sidelines just dominating the SEC championship?
Nice to have dinner with him last night. He's enjoying this next phase of his career. A little, not sleepless nights.
Yeah.
He's not in a hurry everywhere.
And you know, he's got so many other things going on, you know, besides working on College Game Day. But I really think we asked him, how have you enjoyed it? He said it's gone much better than he could have hoped.
So Kern, the freshman, kicks it high. Anthony Evans drifts up and waves for a fair catch at the 26.
All right, you got time here with a couple timeouts. 39 seconds. Veteran quarterback at any moment could hit a big one. So you got a shot here to get in field goal range themselves.
If you're Georgia, you think, wow, we got a lot of things to fix, but we're only down 3, despite being outgained 260 to 57. And 2-1 edge in time of possession. If you're Texas fans, you're thinking, we'd like to be up more than 3 here.
Right. But again, this Georgia team, because of their potential, they can make a play at any moment. And there's no reason to think that they just got to get these receivers more involved. 1 catch the entire first half for a receiver.
Beck looking for a playmaker to step up, finds Etienne in the flat, and Trevor scoots out of bounds at the 33, stops the clock with 32 seconds left.
Think about what we just said there. They haven't had the ball a lot, but their receivers in a game, they'd like to try to stretch the field here. Now, Smith has 1 catch. That's it for the receivers.
3 to the tight ends, 2 to the running backs. That's it. Beck pressure, gets the ball out in the sidelines, and there was an attempt at a big play. Gavin Holmes covering Smith, who could not come down with it.
Well, Sorrell got pressure on him, but again, we're seeing some depth here in this secondary. Holmes out there, that ball got to him. That's another opportunity and another example of him jumping. There's the pressure, but once again jumping for no apparent reason on a ball that's thrown right on the money.
We talked to Beck about this, Kirk. He's trying to be supportive. He's
got to be.
Is it anxiety? Is it nerves with receivers and all these drops? He's trying to figure it out himself. But, Etienne on the edge will get a first down to 20 seconds. He's trying to be a leader and not show his temper, but his patience is tested at this point.
I don't blame him for that, but you have to. You don't have any option as the quarterback. When your guys who are your guys going to battle for you, dropping the ball, the last you may want to talk to him one-on-one, but you need to continue to encourage him, continue to put your arm around him, continue to tell him you believe in him. Because it's hard enough for these receivers. They start thinking about it and worrying about it.
Going to get a free play here. Beck. Pump fake. Now a downfield shot. Looking for Evans, and he threw a pick. This will come back. There's another flag down in the secondary. Mukuba came up with the football. He takes a huge shot as he gets in the paint in the Texas bench. I don't see another flag on that one.
I think you may have pass interference. So you had the free play, and then you're going to have pass interference as well.
It leaves them just 8 seconds. They've got timeouts. They've got a little work to do even after this penalty is marked off to get in field goal range.
Yep.
Penalties, a big story for Texas in this first half.
Offside. Defense number 11 is declined. Pass interference number 9 defense is accepted. 15-yard penalty. Automatic first down.
That's the 7th penalty, and it does move the ball to the Texas 47. So Beck, with 1 completion, can get in field goal range here.
Yeah, here's the look at the interference. Holmes looks back a little bit late. By then, he'd already made contact, and the penalty had already been called.
Hayden Woodring is solid in the opening game against Clemson. He booted his career long from 55 yards. So they're getting close to that with 1 more completion here. 8 seconds to go. Got to be very mindful of that. And Texas will spend a timeout on defense to plot here. Talked about Woodring has been rock solid. 17 of 19 again on this field against Clemson. Everything was going right, and he just slid it inside the upright. Needs to get a few more yards to get that close here. Holly?
Well, I actually watched him in the pregame warm-up, and Peyton Woodring has such power in his leg, but also precision and technique. Guys, he was hitting it from the 50-yard line with no problems. I only saw him miss one from beyond the 40. He's very confident kicking in this building. And I saw their special teams coach ask him before the game, which direction do you want to kick just in case? And it's this direction they're going right now, so this lines up well for him.
Good stuff, Holly, down there working in the pregame warm-up, working hard to get intel.
Oh, yeah.
Well, this would be huge for Georgia.
Sure would.
Penalty aided a chance to get back even in this game, 6 apiece at the break.
And with a couple of the timeouts, 8 seconds left, the whole field here in play. Anything that they want to call, spreading this defense out, try to find that 8 to 12-yard gain here.
Another free play. Texas jumped offside again. Another interception is going to come back. This is Anthony Hill who made the grab, but Texas just not holding their water, as they say.
Well, you know what Sark's going to be talking about with this football team.
Down to a second to go, so that is a factor, but man.
Offside. Defense number 11. Was on the snap. It's a 5-yard penalty. We play first down.
Look, by the way, you know, I don't know if he forced his throw because he had the free play. He's at the bottom right 11, so just barely a little bit of movement. I'm guessing that Beck thought that he had the free play. He puts that right into the hands of Anthony Hill.
And that's very costly. Had they been able to get a short completion, you get a timeout, you have a chance at a field goal. Now nothing but a second left. You got to chuck it down in the end zone for a Hail Mary attempt. Well, unexpected for you, this game? I mean, nothing.
Oh, yeah.
Goals on the board. Texas moving the ball all over the place. Georgia's offense, which what happened at Texas in the first meeting, completely stalled, but hanging around. Not down 23-0 like the Longhorns were.
I feel like it's a combination of some really good defense, a lot of hard hitting, and then miscues. You know, I mean, Texas has had plenty of chances, missed opportunities when they've been in the positive area of this field. And one thing about Georgia, they're able to make adjustments. I know their receivers are struggling, but it's not like they're incapable of making plays. They just got to get in there at halftime after, see if they hit this. Oh, they're not even, that field goal unit's not out there, are they?
No, they wouldn't. This would really be tested at 60. I mean, how they did report he was kicking in from that end with some confidence, but they're going to try to get a bunch of guys down to the end zone and heave it down there. Back. Can he step up and even launch? Chase from behind. Ball knocked free. It's bobbled around, scooped up. The Horns on the final play of the half, trying to make something happen. Anthony Hill laterals it. They're still going. And now they lateral back to a Bulldog in a wild, frantic play. Most entertaining moment of the first half, frankly.
Beck got hit.
And he's down.
Hard, yeah. You know, there was a play last week against Georgia Tech that he got hit, and I wondered at that moment if he was going to be okay. And again, as he releases this football, as he starts to, he gets hit again. Now, this one was Trey Moore that got to him. That Georgia Tech game is actually very, very similar as he starts to go into the throwing motion.
Yep.
Is where Moore hit him. It's good to see him up and walking off.
Tremendously punishing game that you're talking about. We'll get an update on that at halftime. Then we'll go to Laura. Steve Sarkisian, his team's lead 6-3.
All right, thanks, Chris. Coach, 8 penalties in this first half. How do you get your team to clean some of that up?
Well, hopefully they call them for a holding one of these times, too.
Let's go to Holly Rowe with a little bit more.
Coach Smart, what just happened to Carson Beck? What did he say to you?
They just said his hand got hit as he was throwing it there, and guy came all the way around the edge, which people do on that situation. He's got to be aware of, just get rid of the ball.
Will he be okay to play in the second half?
He should be. I don't know. We got to go look at him.
All right. Thank you, Coach.
That was a wild moment. The ball knocked loose, and Anthony Hill's a tremendous athlete. Ends up with, then they lateral it around, and There was a chance after the ball's knocked loose right there by Moore that Texas could have come up with a defensive score there.
Yeah.
0.
Yeah, it got interesting there when we started to see the laterals, but this is every fans and team's fear when you see a quarterback go into that throwing motion. Brock Purdy had a situation in an NFL playoff game where he had an injury to an ulnar nerve, and let's hope that he's going to be okay as they check him out there at halftime.
If he can't go, then Gunnar Stockton, who's not played against the SEC this season, will come in there. Capital One halftime report coming up right after these messages. You're watching the SEC Championship on ABC.
No, but, it'd be interesting to see what Mike Bobo does, because even if Carson Beck were coming back into this game, they're looking to be able to create some matchups, favorable matchups. We've not seen these receivers have very many opportunities. We talked about that towards the end of the first half, just a one catch.
Ali, what can you add?
Well, Kirby Smart has told me that Carson Beck will be unable to return to this game. They are not going to talk about the hand injury right now because they don't know exactly what it is. But Gunnar Stockton, you hear the cheers from these Georgia fans. This is a kid who set the all-time high school state record for yards, points. He is one of the most dynamic kids this state has ever seen. I'm trying to remember if his state championship was here in this building. I'll have more on that for you. But, guys, he is someone they believe in. They've all been hyping him up over here on the sideline, getting ready for this big opportunity.
The other week, this is the first snap he's taken in the game, Kirk, when the margin is less than 21. He finds Etienne for a nice first down gain.
Yeah, really good block there by Oscar Delp. Anytime your guy goes down, there's a lot of times you could see the rest of the offense come around him. There's Carson Beck talking to him. You get in that quarterback room, the main guy goes down, he's going to be there to help that backup up. But my point is, you lose your starter, your alpha, you'll see those linemen step up. You'll see the back step up. Let's try to help him out.
Stockton on the move. Chase, welcome to this Texas defense, one of the elite groups in the country, if not the best. So it's a serious step up in class for Stockton.
I'm glad you said that because, again, we're concerned about Carson Beck. There's the look at him again. But I think what you just said is a great reminder for people that don't watch a lot of SEC football. This Texas defense, I know it's a low-scoring game. This is an elite defense that we're watching. As Chris said, if they're not the best defense, they're right in that discussion with the veteran group they have at all three levels.
So with Stockton leading them, Georgia now faces an early third down. They need 2 to get this drive going. Looking to throw for it. Stockton from the pocket delivers a strike, and it's a completion to Arian Smith, who had problems dropping the ball in the first half. Grabs this one for 18. They're in Texas territory.
Yeah, Texas walked up to show pressure here, and then they drop in the flat. Nice job by this offensive line, creating enough time there for him to be able to deliver that throw.
Etienne, short carry. That'll help get the heart rate down. Yeah, to back up the point we're making about Texas here, number 2 in points allowed, number 3 in yards allowed. They're the best defense in the country, yards per play, under 4 yards per play.
Well, the other thing they do is they rotate another wave of defensive linemen into the game. Is that depth allows them to be able to stay fresh and play fast at the end. The most impressive thing to me is they don't give up explosives. They make you drive the length of the field on them, which is very tough for offenses to do without making mistakes.
Second, Nate Frazier has a crease, runs hard, and comes up a couple yards short of the marker. 3rd and 2 again. Anthony Hill made the play. So at least they're in 3rd and very comfortable for the new quarterback.
On that left side, they've been rotating Monroe Freeling, who is in for Ernest Green. And they've been playing both guys. Right now, Freeling back into the game. Had a nice block there to open that up. There's a look at Ernest Green.
Plenty of time on the play clock. They fake it to Frazier. Stockton back pedals. Pressure. He can run. He's got space. And he's going to make the first down with his legs. takes his shot at the 37, and the Bulldog bench all fired up and moved the sticks again.
You see the reaction from the Georgia sideline? That's what I'm talking about. The backup quarterback comes in. They go trips into the boundary looking for play action. Texas takes it away. This is the element that he brings, but look at the end of this play. Takes on the corner. Look at the Georgia sideline reaction to the backup quarterback trying to provide a spark for this offense.
6'1", 215. Not a huge, solid build on him. Pitch to the edge. Love it. They're succeeding, winning on first down, which is helping this young quarterback.
And I got to give Mike Bobo some credit for this. Is a big. You said it. This is a little different than UMass. I mean, this is a big atmosphere. Mike Bobo's been here. He's done it as a player. He's called a few plays to just kind of ease him into this game. A couple easy throws to be able to allow him to make an accurate throw and get into rhythm. Nice scramble. That's another way of getting those butterflies out of you.
Stockton on the move again, and they close him down. He delivers a high throw, and the catch is made. Lawson Lucky went up. They're talking about it. It is ruled a catch on the sidelines.
That was pretty fun. What a catch. Great ball by the kid on the run. Did he get the toe down? Oh, my gosh, what a play. Oh, my gosh, what a play by Lucky.
All of a sudden,
they can look at that one all day. That's a completion.
All of a sudden, as you suggested, teammates stepping up. No more dropping the ball. They're making excellent catches out there. And Lucky with that toe tap, 14-yard pickup. Ball's in the red zone all of a sudden.
Well, I love to see after the catch, what an effort. Watch ETN. He wants to make sure the official sees it. And this is definitely a catch. Take a look at the AT&T clicker right here. It's a great job by Stockton making a play. Watch him get outside. I want you to watch number 1. I thought he might throw it to him, but watch him help out here. All right, Mr. Official. No. His toe is right there. Right there. You see it?
Isn't it funny, Kirk? I mean, the star elite quarterback goes out. Here comes a guy with no experience. They got more yards in this drive than they had in the first half all of a sudden.
But I'm telling you, it's the adjustments by Mike Bobo to what Stockton does well, but it's just a team, even a fan base. Listen to this crowd. This is the loudest this crowd has been in this game in support of Georgia. I'm telling you, they're rallying around this backup quarterback. Fellas say, hey, now, hold on a second. Let's quiet it down.
Empty backfield. ETN will line up far to the left of the formation. Texas rushes 4. They're trying to spy quarterback. They know Stockton is a quick runner, as Holly pointed out, but he gets loose for 9.
Yeah, this is designed. This is not him scrambling. This is the quarterback draw. He's just going to follow Jared Wilson right here, the center. Get behind him. Use him as a shield if you can, but positive yards.
2nd and 1. ETN makes a cut. ETN barrels into the end zone. Georgia's got the lead behind the backup quarterback.
Chris, watch the block right here on the outside by Delp. Comes down, helps down that double team to secure the edge, and then is able to get up to the linebacker just enough. And the ETN, when he starts running downhill, he is a handful. This is a guy that's had to deal with ribs over the last 3 or 4 weeks. Had 3 touchdowns the first game in Texas and Austin. And provides a big spark along with this backup, Gunnar Stockton. What a different energy from Georgia.
Urgency is an amazing thing, right? All of a sudden, dogs step up behind a guy who's never been anything like this situation. And Georgia, for the first time today, on top of Texas. 10-6. Whipped around the right elbow of Carson Beck. That is the area affected. It was that shot for Trey Moore, that wild final play of the first half, which ended up in a fumble and a potential return by the Longhorns. But In the meantime, Gunnar Stockton has come in and directed a 75-yard, 10-play drive, and Georgia's on top. Good look at the play here as his arm was fully extended when he got hit.
Yeah, I mean, he's escaping, trying to make a play. There's more who applied that pressure. And anytime you see a quarterback getting the release of football, that thing is coming out slow-mo there. That's coming forward at a rapid rate, and then to be able to instantly be stopped with that hit, and there's Mom looking on.
Tracy there in the middle. Not easy being a football player's mother. Sherry Stockton, who's the mom of Gunnar, she's seated in that same area. They were kind of a knowing hug. And meanwhile, Texas now facing some noise behind in this football game by 4. Ewers. Long throw right back to his favorite target tonight, Matthew Golden. It was a nice moment because only a select few can fully understand what goes into it.
There she is, an advisor leaning in. Everybody in this together.
She said, we got this, we got this.
Yep.
Weisner again dropped behind the line. Warren Brinson, such a physical run stopper. It's a 3-yard loss.
I tell you, it gets blown up in a lot of different areas, but one of the guys that really impressed me just with his attitude and effort. Look at Chambliss, blows that guard up trying to pull around. Really blew the play up where DJ Campbell tried to come around.
Weisner on 2nd and long. He's going to be dropped for another loss. Texas going backwards in 2 running plays. And momentum building for the Bulldogs. Jalen Walker made that play.
You know, a lot of movement by the offensive line. You're seeing them move out, move out. The problem is Georgia has athletic ability. They can get through those gaps. Good job of being able to set the edge there by Michael Williams. He took on a big block there by Connor, but did his job. And everybody else running to the football. This Georgia defense, man, they are flying.
Entire team inspired. 3rd and 15. Pressure. Ewers has to just throw it away. He got knocked down after the play. Pressured by Damon Wilson. And the Horns go 3 and out.
I think Georgia, you know, in this modern era of college and pro football, I really thought potentially Damon Wilson with that follow-through. Anytime you see the follow-through on a quarterback, a lot of times that'll draw the foul. He let that one go.
Smile Munden was there to kind of sandwich him.
And you're right. This place is coming alive, and talked about it. The backup quarterback coming in, the touchdown, it's definitely sparked Georgia, giving them some momentum.
Texas shifting around and each side pointing at the other. The 5-yard penalty wouldn't get him anywhere near the first down. Yeah, you knew Texas might have to pay, Kirk, for not taking advantages of those opportunities in the first half. Led just 6-3, then or 6-0, then it got cut to 6-3. Now this place is alive, and Stockton's going to get the football back.
He sure is. What a funky formation there, where Texas was just trying to draw off Georgia's defense, but I think Texas ended up moving.
Start.
Yeah, 18
Kicking
the
team,
right guard.
5-yard penalty, 4th down.
I think Sark's frustrated, but if he saw it, he would be agreeing with it. They're trying to do a lot of different movement, and the one guy that was not supposed to move was the right guard, and he did. And that's what drew the penalty. It was the right call.
So Anthony Evans to receive the punt from Kern. It's a high and short one, and Evans will step up and wave for a fair catch at the 32-yard line. Dramatic change in momentum. Georgia gets the football back, up 10-6. A mild upset here.
Yeah. What a job all these teams with realignment. First year in these conferences. Texas, we see Oregon tonight, SMU in the ACC, Army in the American, Arizona State in the Big 12. Wild to see these teams first year in these conferences making it to the championship game, and some cases winning them.
Texas trying to make history, but now down by 4 as Stockton back to work. He was 3 for 4 for 36 yards passing in that first drive. End around here. Evans will be tracked down. He's a speedster returner. They try to involve him on those end arounds, but he loses 7 as Makuba wasn't fooled.
Yeah, great job. Notice how they're walking people up now. They want to be able to make this young quarterback, who's a dual threat guy, beat him with his arm. Walk everybody up. Good experience. Veteran there by Makuba. Diagnoses that play quickly. Big loss there on that 1st and 10. Get him behind the sticks.
Etienne, one of 4 receivers to the left of the formation. And they're all blocking for him as Trevor makes the catch and darts forward. They get back about 6 or 7. It's going to be 3rd down and about 10-11.
Another quick throw there with some linemen, or rather tight end and receivers out there. Cool to see Carson Beck, as much as he's hurting, right there trying to help the offense out, especially help this quarterback out with any kind of advice. See what he can do here on 3rd down.
Now the Texas faithful up making noise with this right end of the field. They show pressure. They bring it all out. Blitz. The ball's loose, rolling toward the sidelines. It'll go out of bounds. Georgia retains, but a massive loss as Colin Simmons came after the quarterback.
Well, the reason he's able to get isolated is they put Monroe Freeling in a really tough spot because of the pressure right here. They blitz, and now he's got 2 to handle. Nobody picks up the blitzer. Simmons is able to come free, gets to the inside. Late movement by the guard to kick out. And you're not surprised if you know Pete Kwiatkowski, the defensive coordinator. Good job of getting him to 3rd and 10 and then dialing up the pressure.
16-yard loss. Thorson out to punt it away, and Texas an opportunity to get some field position here. And a flag before the ball is booted. They did not get it off in time, so they'll back him up 5 yards.
Delay of game. Offense. 5-yard penalty.
You're able to get pressure. Kwiatkowski is a lot of times without having to blitz, but man, that was an all-out call against the young quarterback.
Yeah, you got it. There he is right there, veteran. Spent a lot of time at Boise State. Such a good coach, fundamental coach. Got a great unit, some of the experience. That time they responded after giving up the touchdown to start the 2nd half. Defense got the big play on that 1st and 10, got him behind the sticks. That really allowed them to dial up that pressure.
Thorson and Bolden tries to get to the edge. Silas Bolden off and running. The speedster making big impact plays as a receiver and now as a returner. Horns will be in Georgia territory.
Boy, once he got outside, they had an entire wall set up. So it's a great job here, utilizing his speed. Look at all those white jerseys setting that wall up for him. Huge yards into positive territory. Boy, he's got such sudden movement.
26 yards. There's still a place for 160-pounders at the highest level of the sport, as long as you're really fast. And the punter, Thorson, now limping around. He was involved in trying to chase down the returner. Man. He's an elite punter.
Elite.
Texas from the 39 now trying to finally get to the end zone, reclaim the lead. Play fake. Ewers across the middle. Catch made by Golden. Matthew Golden has been the key guy. 7th catch tonight. Picks up 12 more.
Thorson's coming over to help out. Let's go back real quick. It got a little bit weird at the end. You know, it wasn't so much him hitting anybody. It was just a turf. He's holding that left leg. So
right, it buckled. It was a non-contact deal.
Sure looked like it, but a big play by Ewers on the crosser there on 1st and 10.
Moore on a screen. And DeAndre Moore brought down nicely by Dan Jackson. Great tackling was a big part of Georgia's win the first time out. How do you rate their tackling so far tonight?
They're doing a great job. I mean, Texas has had chances, but they've not been able to finish these drives off. How much fun is Dan Jackson to watch him play this game? Plays with the intensity. He's good against the pass. See him communicating. It's the veteran you love to have on that back end.
2nd and 9. Ewers launches down the field for more. Couldn't quite get there. He's kind of thrown to his spot, but it had to make a long run. And it's going to be 3rd and 10 now. Kind of a low percentage. He's having a look to see what happened that time. But Texas, they're going to try to finally score a touchdown. Work to do here on 3rd down. They are in field goal range.
Yeah, they've been averaging about 13 yards on these 3rd downs, so a lot of 3rd and longs.
See if the Dogs bring pressure, Kirk. Jalen Walker is standing up. He's coming, and they got him. It's sacked by Damon Wilson. Walker was very disruptive early, and he's going to be knocked down back outside the 30. It's going to be a very long field goal try now.
They walk him up here. You see pressure here, but it's the outside man to the right that ends up being able to make the sack because Ewers had to step up. That's a tough sack to take because it makes it going from pretty reasonable field goal attempt to pushing him way back here.
Auburn was making him from this distance in pregame warm-up. This from 51 yards. He's 2 out of 3 so far. Drives it, and this one hooked again. So he's missed 2 wide left. Georgia all fired up over there. And Texas comes up empty after the punt return set him up in plus territory. Still 10-6 Dogs.
Well, the Georgia Bulldogs will be without another one of their most important weapons. This is Thorson, their punter. You can see that left knee injury there for him. He is out for the remainder of the game. And guys, you know how big this is. He has been booming punts, and he will be out. Big news.
Junior from Melbourne, non-contact injury there.
You could make the argument in their first matchup. What do you have? 4 punts, average of 54 yards, flip the field the entire game.
They're among the best in net punting average this season. Etienne off the right side. Trevor Etienne is a crease, breaking tackles. It's a race down the sidelines. They finally angle him out inside the 20. Welcome back, Trevor Etienne.
Nice job by the offensive line. Interesting, the corners don't even get involved in support. They're locked in thinking it's going to be a quick throw out there. And then it is so tough, even for a veteran like Makubu, to make that play in space against Etienne. What a difference maker he is to this offense. They have missed him these last 3 or 4 weeks since the Ole Miss game.
46-yard chunk, the rare explosive play for this Dogs offense tonight. Frazier into Spellum in the red zone trying to build on this lead. Frazier takes the pitch. Ethan Burke was there in a hurry, turned him back inside, and then Barron knocked him down as they get the cart ready for Thorson. He's a terrific guy. Get to know these Aussies when they get down there and cover tennis and talk to him. And he's just a really fun, cheerful guy. He's got an NFL future punting.
Big leg.
I hope this is nothing serious. Got to keep in mind as Georgia moves down here in field goal range, Carson Beck is their holder. Beth Thorson's their backup holder. So I don't know how deep they go at holder, but we may find out.
Fixing to find out.
The 2nd and 9. Stockton, end zone, way overshot. Banged it off the back wall, the general vicinity of Arian Smith.
Yeah, I think he's taken that away. Oscar Delp was running a really good route here and broke free over the middle. That ball would have been able to, if he would have been able to see him and get that ball out, he would have had a chance to score a touchdown, but instead we got a 3rd down and long.
Does Texas bring the heat this time on 3rd and long?
I think you do. I think you continue to mix up your looks. They're walking those linebackers up now. 5 up.
Empty backfield. He's going to take off, has some space. Gunnar Stockton did not slide, but did not get the necessary yardage. Stopped by Taft and Makuba at the 12, and it's 4th and 2.
Really good job by Mike Bobo here. He's just calling a quarterback draw. We saw it earlier. Jared Wilson blocking. Receivers are blocking.
Offense out there. Wonder if because they don't have their top 2 holders, they're not thinking field goal here. So suddenly, a big play as Texas has a chance to get the football back. Down only 4.
Still 15 seconds on the play clock.
Jones drives. Flag comes in late. Yardage is good for a 1st and goal, but it was right in the center of the offensive pit area.
Sure was, right where that contact was.
Kirby says hands to the face.
Is that what he's saying? I can't tell.
He still did. He's doing it for a third time.
Yeah, he wants everyone to see that.
Personal foul.
It's on
Hands to the
Brown.
face. Defense number 45. After distance to the goal and end of the run, automatic first down.
Is right. Vernon Broughton flagged the 10th Texas penalty, and it moves the football to the 4, 1st and goal.
45. See the right hand up into the face mask there of Fairchild. Boy, has this kid provided a spark in this dome. You can just feel it throughout the entire building.
And they punch it in. Empty backfield again. ETN split out to the right. To tight ends bunched left. And it's Stockton running all the way. He's going to be dropped behind the line of scrimmage there. Sprinting over was Ethan Burke, the veteran.
Ethan Burke did a nice job of getting off the block. So often you just got to use your hands down there with your eyes into the backfield. Burke did that. Strung that play out, just nowhere to go. They just try to utilize the quarterback's ability to run. Let's get him out on that edge where you maybe have a numbers advantage, but great job by Texas defense holding the point there.
And a true freshman, 175-pound Dwight Phillips Jr. is in the ball game, and ETN makes it a 2-back look. That's Phillips coming in motion. ETN, they are just flying downhill, and it's another loss. Leonga Lafau made the play.
You know, they talk about Lafau being just kind of that calming influence. One of the leaders of this defense. He's right here at the second level. He's getting downhill. He's actually blitzing here. Good job of slipping through. You can see the right guard wanted to kick out to help, but a late reaction by Ratledge.
So 2 runs, Kirk. They lose a combined 3 yards. And it's going to be 3rd and goal. About the 7.
Low-scoring game. Do not want to give up a touchdown if you're Texas here.
Stockton looking to run, and they're all over that. So in the end, and Hill made the play there, they didn't want to throw the ball in the end zone. They tried 3 runs, and they'll settle for 3.
Yeah, Texas defense really stepped up inside that 10-yard line. Got aggressive. Even off after that penalty by Broughton that gave them the first down, they responded with 3 straight plays by turning up the heat there on this Georgia offense.
So Gunnar Stockton undoubtedly has taken reps. Georgia leaves nothing unturned. He's the 3rd string holder. And Woodring from 24 to give Georgia a 7-point lead. Final seconds of the 3rd quarter. No problem for the reliable kicker. A 61-yard drive in 8 plays. And you said it. This team has been sparked by Gunnar Stockton. The offense playing well around him. The defense has stepped up, and Texas continues to waste opportunities. And they're now down 7 heading to the final quarter. Guys coming off the bench. This is not quite the same thing, but Jalen Hurts did kind of come in there.
Yeah.
Tua Tagovailoa had come in for him, of course, won a championship. He came off the bench, got very fired up, and led Alabama to the ill-fated fake punt there. Remember, that's
Justin Fields.
Justin Fields there back.
Yeah, on a fake
still
punt.
on Georgia.
It was what a story, because Tua had taken his job away, and you know, last game of the year, at least into the SEC championship, he's asked to come in and step in for Tua, who went down, and he delivers for the Crimson Tide. And now we're seeing Stockton trying to do it for Carson Beck. Put 10 points on the board.
He said he's in the same meeting room. He's seeing all the same tape.
Yep.
He's hearing all the same stuff. Not getting nearly as many reps, but you toil away in the practice field, and you try to be ready for your moment, because you never know when it's going to come, and it is coming against one of the best defenses in the country.
It's a real credit to Mike Bobo, because it's one thing to focus always on the starter, but you know, you're an ankle away, a hamstring away, a shoulder away, whatever it is, away from it being your turn. And a lot of times you don't get a chance to get tested. Occasionally, you know, Thursday practice, you'll get a 2-minute drill, but a lot of the focus is on the ones, and these guys have done a great job of prepping him to have him ready to step into this big stage.
Meanwhile, if you're the play caller for the Longhorns, Steve Sarkisian, your running game has produced 21 yards so far. What do you lean on here? The pass game has been by far the most effective phase of the offense. Weisner has been so productive coming in, has just been swarmed like that today by the Georgia defense.
Yeah, just kind of tiptoeing up there. This running game has been slashing through teams coming into this game. Not today against Georgia.
Sarkisian of the Longhorns down 7, end of 3 in Atlanta. Back after this message at your local ABC stations. You're watching the SEC Championship on ABC.
And stream on Hulu.
Coach, you just had an emphatic little meeting there with your secondary. What was the message you're delivering right there?
Just don't get lazy around the pile. We've had some runs break out on us where our guys relax, and the ball could bounce out anytime.
How's Gunnar Stockton doing? How can you maximize him?
Mike's doing a great job with him. Kid's got a lot of confidence. He's played in a lot of big games. He's not afraid of the moment. I think he's done a good job. It's a good change of pace for us.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
Matthew Golden gets loose. He's played in some big games for Rabun County in high school for the Tigers there, but this is his first action in college football against a real team.
Well, they're going to get a little tempo here out of Texas. Texas needs to get this thing going. They were really shut down in the third quarter. Not many opportunities. Only 16 yards of offense in that quarter.
Suddenly there's some urgency for the Longhorns side, right?
Yeah, this is a game when you get to the SEC championship game, more often than not, it's a game of momentum. Back and forth and back and forth. It's been favoring Georgia this entire second half since Stockton has come in. He's kind of ignited the team and the crowd, changed the energy. Texas needs to respond, and the veteran quarterback Ewers needs to step up with this offense right now.
Ewers under pressure, had to dirt the ball. Golden was coming across there, but Dalen Everett, who was a game wrecker the first time they played, came off the edge there.
They do such a good job of not tipping this. A lot of times when you get a blitz, this guy starts to cheat over just to help out. He doesn't show it at all. Because of that, you're not able to pick it up. They did this in the first matchup with Everett on the end of that boundary. He's such a great blitzer. Doesn't tip his hand. Got him again there on second and short.
Yeah, he had the forced fumble and fumble recovery that was huge in that game. Now it's 3rd and 3. Throw for it wide open is Moore in a slant, still running. DeAndre Moore wins the foot race. Texas strikes back from 41 yards. Momentum back on their side now.
What a call and what a read by Quinn Ewers. Little run pass option. He's reading K.J. Bolden the entire time. He comes down, makes a perfect throw, and then how about the move after the catch and making Dan Jackson miss. We said Texas needed to step up. That is their 6th play today of 20 yards or more through the air.
But their first touchdown, Auburn to tie the game in 13, knocks it through, and Ewers extends his streak now. 24th consecutive game where he's done a touchdown pass, going back to the 22 season.
Chris, like I said, this is a 3rd down play, and the read that he has is right here. Once you get the motion, the shift to the tight end. See Bolden come down. Now he's just see his eyes at that fake. He's looking at 4. 4 comes down. Okay, I'm going to throw it right by him on that glance route. And now, bang, what a move right there after the catch. You know, this group of receivers, I keep talking about Moore as the veteran in that group. And he steps up. Good hesitation. Secondary fooled, thinking it might be one of the quick throws, like a look pass to the outside. Instead, they get him on that RPO. On that slant. Beautiful, well done by Ewers. It's the answer that Sark needed.
DeAndre Moore from Don Bosco, one of the Texas receivers they are developing. They went and got guys out of the portal. Moore was a recruit, and he flashes what he can do.
Imagine that.
He started at Texas, and he's still there.
Yeah.
Wrap your head around that. They don't really go to the portal that much as a program, Texas, to be honest.
In general.
And Jones will leave it there. Holly?
Well, Steve Sarkisian is so confident with this team. He continues to breathe life into them. He was overheard leaving the locker room right before they took the field for the second half. This is the SEC championship. This is what we were built for, what we knew we could do. Let's go win it. He keeps trying to infuse them, encourage them, knowing that they are built for this, even though it's their first title appearance.
I want to see if this defense tries to put the game into the hands of the quarterback. The young man who stepped up and provided spark, make him throw to win. Load up against this run game.
Stockton weaving around. Yeah, Texas is breathing fire, smelling blood, and coming downhill in a hurry now all over these quarterback runs.
Well, that's what you got to do. I mean, the quarterback run game is different than what you see from Carson Beck. Kwiatkowski, the defensive coordinator adjustment is to have the eyes in a big backfield, and instead of just worrying about ETN running the football in the pass game, you want to get this guy behind the sticks, which they've done now the last couple series. Again, a loss there on that 1st and 10. Now he's looking at 2nd and 12.
Texas fans up making noise now. Longhorns rush only 3. Stockton into the coverage, checks it down to Frazier, who's going to be knocked down. That's an important gain, though. They pick up enough yards to make it a 3rd and 3 before LaFell got him down.
Yeah, actually a really good read there. Nice job by Stockton to be impatient. Texas tried to fool him by dropping one of their defensive linemen, Trey Moore, into the flat. He almost threw it, but came off of it and checked it down to Frazier. Good decision.
See what Mike Bobo likes here, trying to get this drive going, keep Texas with the offense suddenly on fire from getting the football right back. Stockton, and they're all over Dominic Lovett. He caught it behind the line, and Jalen Gilbo says, "You're staying right there," and the Longhorns force a punt.
Well, this is called doing your homework. When you see motion, where they go out to motion to trips, this is Lovett going over. You see the corner running with him? You got man-to-man coverage, so once you see that, you're expecting a quick throw out here. Texas is anticipating that. That's just really good job of anticipating and reacting by Gilbo there at the nickel spot in man coverage.
Welcome another newcomer, Kurt, to a big pressure situation is Charlie Ham. Taking over for the injury. It's a fake. It's a fake, and Smith's got it on the end around, and he's got a first down. Tie game, 4th quarter, SEC championship, and Kirby Smart rolls the dice, and this time the fake punt works.
You know, I called a game Thursday night, and I was really impressed what Dan Campbell did. Watch how Texas doesn't even react. They've got a couple guys there dealing with the gunner. Backs turned, completely unexpected. How about big fella, 74? Snapped to the big fella, 74. Gooseby, flip it underneath to the man coming around, the fastest guy maybe in the country.
What a call. We showed you the Justin Fields attempted fake punt, which did not work against Alabama in this game. And 9-yard pickup on 4th down. Dogs continue to kind of grind forward on the running game here.
How about Gooseby, the left tackle, catches? That's, first of all, catching it is a good job by the tackle. And then to be able to, well, actually it's Bobo, the backup center. And then he flips it, and he was ready, in position. Smith's coming full speed around that edge, and Bobo slips it to him perfectly.
His dad Mike calling the plays, and young Drew, who stepped in. He's had to be a starter at times this year in that center position for Georgia with all the injuries they've had. 2nd and 7. And the Horns give a crease, and Etienne's got a first down in Texas territory. Man, the intensity's come up like 3 levels here.
Yeah,
in
no
15
doubt
minutes.
about it. Having some success on that right side behind the right tackle. The big fella, Xavier Truss. Receivers showing the willingness to block out on the perimeter. That's really getting ETN to that next level.
Empty backfield for Stockton now. Screen. Smith ran right back into heavy traffic, knocked down by big fellas like Alfred Collins right at the line of scrimmage.
Well, Simmons made the play. Colin Simmons just forcing that, like you said, back in to the inside where that defense is running to the football.
Whole squadron of fresh bodies coming on for the Texas defense now.
It is a battle. Remember, these two teams played in a rivalry game last week. Spent a lot of emotion, in Georgia's case, 8 overtimes against Georgia Tech. Here they go again a week later.
Stockton complete. Smith holds on that time, picks up about 7.
How about that ball?
It was a dart.
It was a dart out early. I mean, you're throwing that back into the boundary. He doesn't have a lot of room, so you do have to get it out early. And that's Smith, who's been struggling catching a football today. That time, even that one was a body catch, but at least he held on to that one.
Texas continues to get fresh bodies on for this 3rd down play. Stockton and company need 3. No pressure. Check down. Too much space for Etienne. He's going to get just enough for the first down. They do move the sticks at about the 37.
And they just cleared it out. They flooded the zone and just tried to get that defense to back out playing zone. And then you have to get the ball out as fast as you can. You know, that you got to be decisive, which he did. And Etienne is so well known for what he can do in space. But good job of letting those linebackers drop in coverage and then getting it out quickly.
Georgia now inside of 8 minutes to play, getting close to field goal range for Woodring. Reverse. Evans lost the ball, fell on it, got very, very lucky to avoid a crucial turnover.
Yeah. Chris Benda looked like he knocked that out, just chasing after the football. Right hand gets in right there to knock it out. And you talk about the break of the game. Look at all those white jerseys. Bounces right back into the chest of Evans.
Got a remarkable, Kirk. That's the 19th fumble this season for Georgia. Only lost 5 of them. The lost fumble by Beck at the end of the half. So they've been a little bit lucky or attentive.
Well, he's attentive right now, listening to Kirby.
Picked up 5. 2nd down run for Frazier. Frazier to the corner. Barrels out inside the 20. Dogs threatening.
You're trying to get upfield to disrupt and penetrate, and by doing that, take yourself right out of the play. And what a great thing when you have Etienne. Frazier goes back to being in that role of being 1B. Look how fresh his legs are here in the 4th quarter with 6:30 to go, and he gets his hands on the ball.
Now can Gunnar Stockton in this Georgia offense punch it in the red zone? Frazier's got a crease. Barrels down inside the 5. The ball came out. Are they ruling it down before the fumble? There's a scrum there. Check out who's got it. Georgia will retain possession down inside the 5, knocked loose by Makuba there.
Makuba, the left arm, knocked it loose. And watch this, it's on the back there of Taft. Right there, clearly a fumble. I think Arian Smith maybe hopped on that football. I think a hustle play by 11.
Taft didn't know it was right under his tricep there.
Yeah, he was almost just laying on it.
Like we said, they keep fumbling the ball, but they keep recovering it.
Yeah, he's trying to say that Taft had a possession of it, but he was just lying on it. Never had the ball.
1st and goal. Etienne. It's crowded toward that boundary. Could not get around Baron Sorrell. Clock rolling now. 2nd and goal.
Yeah, great job setting the edge. Try to catch him back into the boundary. And we've been talking a lot about Arian Smith, and you just got to hold on to the ball. Let's make sure we talk about the job he did in hustling, making that play to recover that football to keep this drive alive. There are a lot of Texas defenders that easily could have come up with the ball. Instead, Smith, effort, keeps the Dogs with this possession.
End around. Phillips knocked down short of the goal line, lost a shoe. Makuba made the play. Phillips slow to get up, holding in the midsection.
Yeah, he is the gadget guy, right? To get a little bit undersized, but really good speed. You talked about Makuba. He just accelerates through this hit. Boom, big hit right there.
So Dogs on the doorstep. It'll be 3rd and goal when you come back. Dogs trying to take the lead here. 3rd and goal at the 3. Again, the winner not just wins the Precious Conference Championship, but also gets that first-round playoff bye and can head to the Sugar Bowl in the quarterfinal stage.
Chris, look at this 15th play coming up. Almost 9 minutes. Talked about how you can't hit explosives on Texas. You got to earn it, drive the field. That's what they're doing right here. Can they finish it off?
Stockton from the pocket. Survey just batted down at the line. Dangerous play. Broughton off the carom, tried to close in on it. And it's going to be the field goal team that comes out.
Chris, they had Delp, and again, it's very easy to see from up here, but Delp is in motion, goes back, and right now, if you throw it, there was a nice little pick there by London Humphreys. He didn't see it, and it gave Texas a chance to get their hands up to knock that ball away. So the defense steps up.
Woodring, the chip shot to give Georgia the lead back. Ooh, pounds it right through. And 4:32 to play. Can Texas win the SEC in year 1? Can Georgia drive the centerpiece of it, a gutsy fake punt call? Good fortune, 2 fumble recoveries, some grinding runs, 9 minutes, 22 seconds, 16 plays, 72 yards with the backup quarterback.
That's amazing.
And Georgia's up 3 now.
Well, if they end up holding on to this, we'll remember that call and that drive for a long time. But let's see what happens. Plenty of time, 4:32 to go.
Golden will let this one go. Allstate Bus with Caesar, hometown game here in Atlanta. It's the Allstate good hands place so far.
Well, there's a lot to choose from. I think you got to look at Drew Bobo. What a play by the big center to time that up perfectly. The gutsy call there by Kirby Smart. Smith here. This is a big play. You got the fake punt, the fumble here. Watch 11. Smith, hustle play. Great job fighting off 2 different Longhorns to keep that drive alive and come up with the 3 points. So we've been critical of him at times because of missing a few passes. Let's celebrate him on that fake punt and that hustle play to get the fumble.
Can Texas answer? They hand it to Wisner to begin the drive, and he goes nowhere. He'll actually lose a yard. Quinn Ewers, he talked about the experience. He's been poised and pretty good in postseason games in his career at Texas. He's led a bunch of teams in game-winning drives.
Yeah, Sark talked about being patient with that run game. At this point, I think it's going to come down to Ewers' ability to make throws.
Got to get protection, and he's going to be sacked. A slow developing play, and Mykel Williams closed him down. And Texas will face a 3rd and 18 in this desperation drive.
But again, it's Chambliss right here who's able to get penetration and force Ewers up and then into the arms of Mykel Williams. Smile Munden in there as well.
Pressure again. Sideline pitch. Intercepted. He threw it to Dalen Everett, who had huge plays in the Dogs' first win. And Georgia up 3 gets the football back.
Well, how fitting is that? They've been trying to pick on these corners, mainly Daniel Harris. That's gone away. But here, late in this game, they've got to be able to come up with another play. And they turn to Matthew Golden. Couple things. Watch the pressure right here, and here's the matchup on the outside. He gets pushed, the right tackle gets pushed right into the face of the quarterback. What a good job of being patient. The ball's thrown to the inside, but watch 6, waiting, expecting that route near the first down marker, and then reacts to the receiver coming back to the ball. Ewers threw it inside, and Everett was in perfect position to make that interception.
He was in good position the first time he picked it too. So 2 more interceptions, had a pick, a forced fumble, and a fumble recovery in October. And now the Dogs with the lead and 3:36 to play, set up inside the Texas 30. Etienne off the left side.
Now it comes down to the Texas defense. If obviously a touchdown goes up on a board, this one's over more than likely. And if Kwiatkowski, the defensive coordinator, can get his guys to rally one more time and force a field goal, could still, with 3 timeouts and a 2-minute timeout, could still be in a position here to get the ball back to Ewers, down 6.
Clock management, interesting topic here. Will Sarkisian use timeouts on this side of the 2-minute timeout if they can get a stop here and force a 3rd down play?
See what happens right here. Georgia 1 of 3 when they do get in that red area.
Fake it to Etienne. Stockton now pitches down to the running back. Flag comes out. Etienne still running. Knocked down at the 20.
It's going to be a hold on Georgia. The center, Wilson. Easy call for the official.
Sarkisian said, hey, I'd like to see Georgia get called for holding.
Yeah, that's right.
At halftime. Delora.
This is a throwdown, so.
Holding. Offense, number 55. 10-yard penalty. 2nd down.
So it backs him up. Stops the clock, of course. It moves the football to the 36.
55 right there going up against 1-5 Billy Norton. He tried to sneak Lucky down that left sideline, but Texas took that away. That's why he was in the pocket waiting and waiting and waiting. Longhorns in good coverage. We're not fooled at all.
2nd and 18. You don't want to go back any farther. This is within Woodring's field goal range, but just. Frazier's the back. Evans motions across. Single coverage on that side. And barreling downhill to the 31 and setting up a 3rd down and long.
And like you said, there's Texas using one of their timeouts right now. It helped so much after that penalty. Now you feel really good about getting them off the field here and forcing a field goal.
Will Ewers have a chance at redemption? Gunnar Stockton is in his first meaningful football action of his college career. A couple of brief stints and blowouts. Here he is against Texas, trying to convert here on 3rd and 13. Trying to, at worst, set up a field goal attempt to build this lead.
Sure, Kirby Smart there talking to him about, hey, we're at the 31-yard line. Let's be smart here with this call.
If you're feeling aggressive, Kirk, you could press it downfield. A 1st down, just about do it.
Oh, sure. Yeah. Close to it.
Play clock at 3. Texas brings pressure. Stockton backpedaling, throws it, and threw it right to Texas. Intercepted by Jahdae Barron. The young fella under pressure made a mistake, and Texas is set up now.
Well, I'd say that Kirby Smart telling him, let's be smart with the football. Let's not have that big mistake. And, you know, he got pressured from his left side. I think it surprised him, spooked him, in fact. He was looking to throw the ball to Cash Jones out of the backfield. Blitz here. And again, they've had success bringing blitzes from that left side. 2-on-1 on the left tackle. See, Simmons is able to get the pressure. Georgia very fortunate this ball is not returned all the way back by Barron. Good job by Lucky hustling there.
Sure is. I think Barron saw that open sideline, and the tight end works his way around the blocker.
Yeah, Gilbo is celebrating. Yeah. He should have been making a block.
Texas from the 34. 2 timeouts plus the 2-minute timeout. Ewers flips short. Wisner has blockers and hammers forward for a 1st down at the 45. Picked up 11.
Keep in mind, Ewers in 2 games, the one earlier in Austin, the one tonight combined, 12 sacks and 5 turnovers.
But still a chance.
Oh, yeah. Always a chance.
They had a chance in the game in Austin to get it back within a score.
Yeah.
And
yep.
Georgia's offense extended that game, ran it out. So despite bad pick in that last possession, the defense for Texas does their job.
That was the only time we saw him look like a guy that hadn't played a lot of football. I thought up to that point, he's been the operation of it. Not a whole lot of mistakes. He's been playing clean football. He's been giving his team a chance. His team kind of rallied around him. He'll learn from that as a young quarterback that doesn't have a ton of experience.
Kwiatkowski forced his hand, brought serious pressure from some NFL future front seven guys.
Yeah, and he didn't see it at the line of scrimmage. He didn't see it until they were closing in on him, and then he's just trying to make a play and just would love to have that one back. But give Texas's defense credit once again for stepping up. Even though they got back deep in their own territory, they once again step up.
I don't know if you saw the scouting report. Jahdae Barron's not the guy to try. He's a Thorpe Award finalist, one of the best defensive backs in the country. And his play has given Ewers and Sarkisian's offense a chance here.
Still have the 2-minute timeout, plus the 2 timeouts that Texas has remaining.
With that in mind, Kirk, they run the ball to Wisner. They're ripping at it. And he's stopped for about a 2-yard gain. And looks like this will take it down to the 2-minute timeout. Texas on the move, trying to force overtime or win the SEC in their first year in the final 2 minutes in Atlanta. AT&T, Oregon, Penn State tonight. You got SMU and Clemson coming up. I think it is a must-win game, obviously, for Clemson, and probably also for SMU. If they lost, it would be a real conversation. In the meantime, both these teams, the computer says, everybody says, safely in the field. The championship and a first-round bye goes to the winner.
Think about the rest you can get by having that bye. That's enough incentive, just that.
Both teams could use it. There's a whistle and a false start before the snap. Just when you're trying to build momentum in this drive.
False start, offense number 56. 5-yard penalty, second down.
It's Cam Williams again. He's been penalty prone. We've talked about it, and that's the 11th penalty for 94 yards for the Longhorns today.
It's amazing, and you consider that the missed opportunities in the plus territory, that they have the ball with a chance to win this game. Down 3.
Ewers flips it across the middle. Catch made by DeAndre Moore. And the speedy receiver knocked down in Georgia territory after a 10-yard gain. Look at Auburn, perhaps awaiting his moment.
Good call there by Sark. Mesh concept, meaning a receiver on the right, receiver on the left, kind of come together, creating traffic for the defenders to have to work through. Nice catch again by Moore.
Got to get 2 plays. Got 2 plays to get them. Pressure comes. Ball rejected. And that was knocked down by C.J. Allen on the blitz. And it's going to come down to this 4th down play.
Well, here we go, man. What a job here of utilizing a blitzer from here. And watch how he works around from the right side. Comes all the way around. 3. Boy, he's a good blitzer. C.J. Allen having a great game.
1 stop.
Sark
stands between Georgia and an SEC champion.
Sark against Kirby on this call. Save your best for right here.
Ewers. Catch made by Moore. Nice route. Came in, cut out, and that ball was on the money. First down.
Yeah, he actually motions in. Look who they went after. Daniel Harris, who's on an island. What a route by Moore by selling that. We just talked about the mesh where you go underneath. He showed that and then went the other direction.
Beautiful timing. Now in a slant, Moore makes this catch, and all of a sudden Texas cooking at the 35, 9 more yards.
Yeah, between Matthew Golden and DeAndre Moore, that has really been his targets tonight so far.
Wisner running left, makes a cut. Yeah, it's enough for a first down inside the 30. Clock stops with 54 seconds to move the chains. As limping off there is Isaiah Bond to the sideline.
Yeah, I think his own man, Wisner, running the football there, just kind of rolled up onto Bond. Georgia rotating, have time to rotate because Texas did.
And now Georgia will spend a timeout on defense. 39 seconds to go. As you said, so much has happened here. Final play of the first half. Carson Beck ended up being a strip sack. apparent elbow injury. It's been iced up the second half, and in comes Gunnar Stockton. The sophomore had done nothing in the pressure game. Stepped up for a while, did pretty well.
He did. I thought he did really well. More importantly, he sparked his football team. He sparked the energy of this stadium. He got Georgia with all the momentum. Interception here. Everything going the way of Georgia. And then they catch a break by providing that pressure on the backside with a blitz. He really makes his only mistake since he stepped in. Barron makes the interception, gives Texas a chance here, and here we are. And, of course, Sark, he's not just thinking about trying to tie this game. He's thinking about trying to win this game while he has a chance with 41 seconds and 2 timeouts at the 29-yard line.
That's where I was coming to you next with. How aggressive does he play it? Auburn missed a couple field goals. He's in range, but a chance to win it right here. Avoid the lottery of overtime.
You find the matchups that you like, and you still try to get that ball thrown downfield. That's the motto that they came in with tonight. You don't go away from it, but you want your quarterback. He's got to be smart.
That's Matthew Golden went in motion. He goes deep. Ewers instead lobs it to the left for Wingo. And out comes a flag. Interference in the end zone as Dalen Everett, who's had some big plays tonight, flagged that time.
Yeah, right on cue. We're just sitting here talking about, are you conservative? Are you aggressive? Go after the corners. He's been doing it all game.
15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
You know, and I think he does a nice job of looking for the safety. Dan Jackson came down, so created a one-on-one matchup. And Everett just gets behind. Ball is underthrown. And so once he gets behind and the ball is underthrown, you see Wingo, the freshman, working back to it. And a no-brainer call there for the official.
Actually, a smart penalty in college, too. You take the 15 yards.
Yeah.
NFL, that's it down at the 2-yard line.
Yep.
So instead, Texas, a first down in the red zone. Pump fake. Ewers will be sacked. And now Sarkisian will have to spend a timeout, taking a sack there. Knocked down for the 7th time tonight.
I mean, it looked like with the action from the quarterback, you know, he's flashing, showing screen that way, wants to go back to the right. But he's very fortunate he holds on to the ball. You see the ball in his left hand away from his body with 3 different defenders around him. You know, Georgia takes that one away. He could have flipped it out there, but there's a Georgia defender.
We've seen pressure close in, Kirk, and plays like that, slow developing. Ewers twisting, turning his back to the defense, and then running out of time very quickly.
Yeah, he had men downfield. That whole play was a disaster for Texas.
Down to the 1 timeout. Ball at the 19. From here, it's a 36-yard field goal to try to force overtime. It's a low percentage conversion at this point. They need to get down inside the 5-yard line for a first down.
This matchup,
second down play.
Matchup way at the top. Golden has had a huge game.
Ewers goes to the left, rising up and trying to make a diving catch as Wingo. They went back to that side against Everett, and it's going to be 3rd and 15.
He went back into that same matchup where he thinks Wingo is going to be a superstar. He's just a young man. See the safety over there, Jackson. It's a tough matchup going up against Dylan Everett, who's an outstanding corner. But twice they've checked him. One time for the interference, and that one an incompletion.
So Texas a chance here with just this play to try to win it in regulation. Come up short. Going to kick a field goal to force overtime. Screen, and as Wingo dropped it, never really got going, didn't have anywhere to run that time. Michael Williams was right there. It's incomplete. Georgia fans are all excited as Walker takes off down the field.
Now listen, Auburn is a great kicker. He's missed from 42 and 51 tonight. Wingo never has possession, really had nowhere to go.
Nope.
With Michael Williams out there.
We talked about the chess match. Smart's defense and Glenn Schumann all over what Sarkisian called that time. Auburn comes out. He's got a good pedigree under these pressure kicks. When it comes to game tying, game-winning field goals in the last 2 minutes or in overtime, I'm just reporting the facts. He is 4 for 4.
Right. Georgia iced him here. Kirby called timeout. Yeah, he already did.
Yep. Made his first two, missed his last two. Both of his misses came after miscues that pushed him back. Remember, it was a 5-yard penalty, pushed you back to a 42-yarder, and that's how close it was the first miss. Then they took a sack and pushed it, made this a really long one, and it also hooked to the left.
Yeah, both misses to the left. Sark trying to just, okay, man, just have fun with this. It's what you want. The mind inside a kicker, the pressure.
Yeah, you talked about how reliable. He's never missed 2 in a game, so he has missed his last 2 in this game. And shake that off and to force overtime for the first time ever in an SEC championship game. Never had one. From 37 in a deadlock. No problem. Auburn looks like a guy who believes in himself in pressure kicks.
That was really impressive. SEC championship on the line, already missed 2. And he steps right into that pressure and says, thank you very much. Perfect snap, perfect hold. Could not have been a cleaner operation there by that unit. Fantastic.
So Texas off the interception, given a lifeline. Took 11 plays to go 47 yards. 2 minutes and 12 seconds. The interference penalty, I should say, was instrumental in it. Now, unless something crazy happens in the last 18 seconds, we go to overtime, my partner.
Yeah, Georgia's saying, all right. We didn't have enough last week with 8 overtimes against Tech. Why not go a few more tonight for the SEC championship without our starting quarterback? What a game. What an amazing game. Whoever said, yeah, these conference championship games, they're not going to matter that much anymore. You got to come to Atlanta and feel this energy.
There's still power and collective pride in college football.
Yes.
There's a lot of different things, but that hasn't changed. And when there's a championship to be won and a trophy in the building, and you're Georgia and you've lost more than you've won under Kirby Smart, and you're Texas and you've never been here before in year 1.
And you're told you never have any chance to get here, and you're here in your first year.
Yeah, this one does not feel short of motivation today.
No.
Again, both teams in the playoff. We know that. A bye to the winner. But that's not what they're thinking about right now. They're thinking about a championship. And as competitors, this one's going to get decided in overtime.
One timeout. Backup quarterback who just threw a pick. Do you just run this and just say, all right, we'll head into overtime? Or do you trust him to take a shot downfield? Not way down, but just...
What would you do?
I'm not in practice to know this kid and who he is, but it looks like they're going to run it. I like what I've seen from him so far, but I think that's the safe call and the smart call. Here we go.
Back and forth. Lead changes, momentum changes. 16 apiece at the end of regulation. Overtime to decide the Southeastern Conference Championship. Back after this message and a word from your local ABC station. You're watching the SEC Championship.
It's crunch time. In the first overtime, each team gets a possession starting at the opponent's 25-yard line. If it goes to a second overtime, teams again start at the 25-yard line, but must attempt a 2-point conversion after a touchdown with no extra points allowed. From the third overtime on, teams alternate 2-point conversion attempts from the 3-yard line until the game is decided.
Welcome to Overtime, presented by Cheez-It. It's crunch time.
Thank you, Professor Davis. Cheez-It does present this overtime. He's mentioned the 2-point conversion stage of overtime, beginning in overtime number 3. We talked about the 8 overtime stage. Dogs kept playing that again and again
before we start
for Georgia
overtime?
Tech. Back to the coin toss.
You're the guest. You're going to call the toss. Your choice will be offense if you win, offense, defense, or which end of the field you want to play. We have one toss and one toss only. Okay? The logo's heads, the pennant's tails. Tails, heads. Make your call.
Tails.
What'd he call?
Tails.
Tails. If I dropped it, we do it again. And it is tails. Okay, so you've won the toss. You want to play defense first, and which way do you want to go? Okay, well, you come down there. Come around this way.
I like an official that takes control.
Steve Marlowe took control.
I mean, that is no question who the boss is out there.
So, obviously, Georgia chooses to play
we'll have
defense.
It first down at the 25, going this direction.
And Texas wants to head back toward where their fans are in the right end as you watch it. So, Sarkisian, his play calling right to the test here.
Again, I think it's worth mentioning for Georgia coming off that 8 overtime game. Not only that, think of their schedule that they played. 13th game of these two teams. Much more of a grueling schedule to play this year in the SEC. You know, who knows, you know, what's ahead of these teams with who gets to buy and whatnot. Right now, everything is focused on survival.
So emotionally draining, not just physically. That you remember Kirby Smart and Brett Key at the end of the game, basically in each other's arms.
Right.
They said they could only
I've never seen
understand how much went into that. So Arch Manning comes in, Kirk, to begin this overtime. Texas goes to their reserve quarterback who steps into a huge pressure moment. Whereas he has experience, unlike his counterpart Stockton, in pressure games. Keeper, Manning, shows the strength. He's not just a fast guy. He's got power. 225 pounds, picks up about 5.
Yeah, I think he's coming off the field now. I think he spends a lot of room under that squat rack, too. I mean, he is a big, strong man. You saw there. He lowered his shoulder. We saw it last week in the A&M game. But that wrinkle, I thought we'd see a lot more of, especially with what Haynes King did last week against Georgia's defense.
Maybe not done seeing it. Maybe not done seeing it here as these overtimes unfold. Ewers on the move. And nobody open. Tried to flip it to Jaden Blue, but he was well covered. Had to toss it into the bench. Michael Williams was tracking him down. 3rd and 5.
What a great job by Malachi Starks. He has such versatility. He can play deep. This time his instincts come in handy. Saw 23 back there with Wisner and knows that he's a threat out of the backfield. Took him away. All Ewers could do is throw that one away.
So you got Golden and Moore on the right side of the formation along with the tight end Helm, and now Moore motions over to the left slot. Ewers on the slant, caught, first down inside the 15. Squeeze it into a tight window to Wingo.
The reason he was yelling to Moore to get over there, he wanted that double slant look, which he got, which opened it up for Wingo. What a job Wingo does as a true freshman. What a catch.
Georgia is going to spend a timeout. You have a timeout to use in every overtime period. Something as 8 overtimes played out in that game we're talking about probably should be done away with. That's
I agree. I agree. That was too much. But that again, let's go back to this true freshman Wingo making a great catch. Moore came over to kind of open it up. That's against a really good corner at the top there. Gets a little bit handsy with the left hand, but used his body to kind of box him out and then uses the hand. Somehow that left arm, forearm, secured that football. Great catch.
And the first catch he's made today, they tried him a couple times up and down to the end zone against Everett. Drew a penalty on one of them. That is a pretty clutch first catch in overtime here to keep this drive going.
From a skill set standpoint, he's as gifted as any true freshman receiver in the country, including Ryan Williams and Jeremiah Smith at Ohio State.
Mustangs and Clemson Tigers waiting in the wings in Charlotte. First down play. Play fake. Ewers launching for the end zone. Contested ball at the back. No chance for Matthew Golden to make a play. Everett in coverage.
Boy, Everett does a nice job staying in coverage here. You know, watch Golden show it to the inside, and Everett didn't bite for that at all. Does a nice job of being able to eventually use his body and get him where he has no chance to make a play on that football. Just use the leverage of that back line to take him out.
Takes a confident quarterback to make risky throws in this situation in overtime. Ewers this time lofts it to the other part of the end zone and over the head of DeAndre Moore, and it's going to be 3rd and 10 now.
They try to go to a slot fade. Moore's had a big night. The timing off. He's got room to work out there. See the football thrown to his outside shoulder? Would have had to make a potential like a Willie Mays catch. Jackson Smith and Jigma made one of those when we were doing the Ohio State-Utah Rose Bowl call a few years ago.
3rd and 10. Dogs crowded the line, giving a blitz look pre-snap. Let's see if they bring it. And Sarkisian will use his timeout here in the first overtime to discuss this 3rd down play. So they've taken shots at the end zone in what I wouldn't say are terribly high percentage throws. Now it's 3rd and 10.
No, they keep trying to find those one-on-one matchups. They're playing for a touchdown. They don't want to get into a field goal kicking contest in overtime. They're trying to be aggressive, playing to the DNA and the reputation of Sark as a play caller. Already in field goal range for Auburn. This is the XO, the game within the game. You got two of the great defensive minds in Glenn Schumann and Kirby Smart, and you got one of the best, most innovative play callers on the other side, in Steve Sarkisian.
You think about Kirk, the hot hands. Okay, we're talking about Golden and Moore.
Those are the
Gunnar Helm has been a main guy all year. One catch tonight. He's to the far right of the formation here.
Yeah, 0 and 2 are both on the right side.
And now the tight end motions across right there as well. Ewers looking that direction. And checks it down. Catch made and cannot escape. Tackle made in space beautifully by K.J. Bolden, who brought Wisner down for a loss. And here comes the field goal team.
They created a wall with these receivers, hoping against man they would be able to get him out. But Bolden back here does a good job of reading that. So he's in charge. They're expecting that kind of route where they open it up with a rub like that. But Georgia in place there to defend it.
And the kicker with the reliable pedigree and the interesting hair right back out there from 32. And that time knocks it through. Not quite as confident a swing as it was to force overtime. But Texas is on top. Not what Sarkisian wanted, you can tell from the top of the first.
No, he of course looking for touchdowns. Ooh, the snap a little high. The hold was close. Good job of getting it down, but he didn't get it the spin perfectly turned. But a good job by Auburn at coming through that despite the snap and the hold.
Now here you go, Kirk. Gunnar Stockton's got the football, and Georgia can win it with a touchdown. And the guy who's had so little meaningful football all season long. Remember, Tennessee Tech early in September. UMass, non-conference breather a couple weeks ago. He gets in there when it's decided, when it's a 3-touchdown plus game. He has been the guy in the second half.
And he doesn't have to win anything. He has to be a good decision maker and a distributor. The offensive line has to raise their game. The receivers, the backs. Remember, you got Trevor Etienne behind you. You know, it's up to Mike Bobo to design these plays and get these guys where they can win some matchups. But Etienne can be the difference here for Georgia.
And he's got they fake it to him, and they throw it in the flat. Oscar Delp slips a tackle, and that's a missed opportunity to get him behind the line there. He picks up 9.
Yeah, Gilbo missed an opportunity, like you said, to make a big play, at the very least, right near the line of scrimmage. And instead, after good effort by Delp, he picks up another 8 yards. Every yard counts in these overtimes.
Every missed tackle can be crucial.
Yeah. Effort play there by Delp.
2nd and 1. Stockton. And they're going to lose yardage on that catch. Lovett tracked down by Andrew Makuba. 3rd down and about 3 now.
The motion is the indicator for these plays, and I want you to watch Anthony Hill, the communicator. He sees that motion. He's telling the fellas, hey, you know what's coming. Guys, get ready. Here it comes. And everybody runs. Great job. Good job reading that indicator. Lovett goes in motion. Defense is expecting that quick throw. Good job of running it down.
Mike Bobo with the play call here. They need 3. 2 backs in the backfield. They fake it to Etienne. Ball flipped short. And the tight end, Oscar Delp, powers for a first down. Nice little call.
Really good call. They use Cash Jones as a decoy. He's been so effective this year out of the backfield. They just slide him down. That's where he wanted to go with the ball, but instead checks it down. And again, big number 4. Remember, earlier he made Makuba miss to get that this overtime period started, and then he finishes off to get the first down there with another great effort.
First down run to Etienne. Etienne, tried to shake free of the tackle of Makuba, who grabbed him by the ankle and held on.
Boy, good job again. The way he's able to use his lateral quickness, his vision, just waits for it, and then accelerates. Heck of an effort by Makuba just to bring him down.
Dogs 12 yards away from the win. Stockton running all the way up the middle. Gunnar Stockton knocked in the head by Makuba. Helmet goes flying. Thankfully, he's up on his feet. Flag goes flying as well. Wow.
And man, it's a big hit. Yeah, a big hit. 4 comes in, lowers that shoulder.
You do not often see a helmet eject off the top of the head like that.
Not at all.
Discussing, of course, whether it's targeting.
You want to talk about a team, again, rallying around a quarterback that's
personal foul,
willing
targeting,
to do that.
defense number 4. The previous plays under further review.
So John Allman in the replay center will review this. Bill Lamagna is down here far right. Bill, what is going to be the issue in this targeting review against Makuba?
It's got to be a crown of the helmet hit because he's a runner.
Right.
So now as he comes in, he does lower, but does he turn his head to the side? Is it the side of the helmet or is it the crown? It's close.
Yeah, ball's already at the 3 or 4 yard line. So I mean, to me, the story here is about this kid, this Gunnar Stockton. This is unbelievable that this guy in this second half and now into overtime, the guts, the poise, the prep that this kid is showing right now, it's unbelievable considering this stage.
And that is grisly. You can see the expression of his face, legs buckle. Well, you're right. Even if it's not targeting, it's going to be 1st and goal to 4.
Yeah.
Bill, what is your sense of what's going to happen here?
I say it's not targeting. It's
After
the side
further
of the
review,
helmet.
there is no foul for targeting. The ball carrier did make the line to gain. It'll be 1st and goal at the 4 yard line. Number 14 for Georgia will have to sit for 1 play because his helmet came off.
And look who's got the helmet on. Carson Beck coming back in the game.
Why not add to the drama, right?
What else can happen? He's going to see if he can take a snap. Remember that right elbow was wrapped up in ice?
Yeah. Here's
most of the half.
You would expect you'd expect him to. He's coming out. He can't move his arm.
That right arm just hanging from the side. It's like a movie script unfolding here.
Yeah.
Georgia 4 yards from an SEC championship. 1st down. Etienne in the I formation. They hand it to him. Touchdown! Georgia are SEC champions as every dog digs really deep. Winning touchdown scored by a guy that hadn't played the last 3 games, was questionable coming into this game, ETN has the final word, and Georgia wins it 22-19.
Let's not forget to talk. That ETN gets the touchdown, but that offensive line in that overtime period really showed a lot of guts and a lot of determination. Coming off an 8 overtime game, stepped up. Not sure what Beck's going to be able to do. Hands it off. What a story, man.
Well, cheer from Kirby Smart with Holly.
Well, Coach Smart is talking to his quarterback. Coach, what did you say to him in the locker room when you knew he was going to have to come in here and take over this game?
I didn't say one word. Coach Bobo did, and all the coaches did, and he believes. This kid's a winner, man. This kid's special. He's a winner.
Gunner, this is an unbelievable situation, but you've been preparing for this. How were you able to settle down and win this game?
I think it just goes back to just the love I have for everybody in the locker room, just all the seniors, and just want them to go out on the right way. And
you're a kid from Georgia. What does this mean for you? First SEC championship for you.
No, this is pretty awesome. It's just special to the guys I get to do it with.
Thank you so much.
He's a dog! Raven County, baby!
Let's go to Laura Rutledge and Trevor Etienne.
All right, thank you, Holly. Hey, Trevor, you wanted to get over here to be with your guys, to congratulate Gunner Stockton. What can you say about the way that he led this team when Carson Beck went out?
Man, just proud of him, man. He works so hard. Day in and day out, never complains. Come in, work day to day. And it just goes to show how much work. It just goes to show how much work he put in. Proud of him, man.
Hey, you were able to make such a difference tonight. We weren't even sure you'd be able to play with your rib injury. How would you describe what this was like for you?
I mean, I wanted it bad, man. I never been part of something like this. I mean, this is why you come to Georgia.
How are you feeling? How are those ribs?
Man, great. I've never felt better.
This team has fought so well all year long to get to these moments. We've had some low lows at times. How would you describe what this group means to you to get to this point?
Resilient. You know, no matter the ups or the downs, no matter how tough the game got, nobody folded. Nobody gave up. Nobody gave in. Everybody came out with the mindset ready to go after halftime. We were down 6-3. Nobody showed any sign of weakness. And that's just what I love about this group the most.
Congratulations, Trevor.
Thank you.
Chris.
Went to Florida, did not work out there. Transfers to Georgia with a championship in mind. Wasn't even sure he's going to be able to play. Ends up Kirk with 16 carries, almost 100 yards, and 2 more touchdowns against Texas to go with the 3 that he had in Austin.
How about his mom looking down? Have you ever heard a more humble interview in your life from a guy that comes in and sparks his team? I mean, they couldn't get anything going in the first half with their quarterback, Carson Beck. He goes down in the last play of the first half. And a guy that comes in that not a lot of us knew a whole lot about. He was a 5-star. You know, it's not like he doesn't have ability, but he just hadn't played. Walks into this atmosphere against what we were talking about, the best defense maybe in the country. And he, and more importantly, his team around him, step up and find a way to get it done.
And why do they rally? Because what ETN said, he works so hard. That's the thing you can't see, right, unless you're inside the walls of the program.
100%.
And he never complains. A great attitude, getting very few reps and very little action because Beck played so much football this year.
That's what college football, man, that's what you want to celebrate, especially at that position when guys, they don't have patience. First sign of trouble, they're out. Here's a guy that's been prepping in the shadows, doing what he needed to do. Mike Bobo deserves a ton of credit as a play caller and quarterback coach for keeping him engaged, because you never know when your moment might come. Little did he know it would come in this stage when it's an SEC championship on the line and the kid steps up and delivers.
See how this SEC championship winning play was called by the Georgia radio folks. Scott Howard.
The fullback, ETN the tailback. Beck under center. Hand it to ETN, straight ahead. Touchdown! Touchdown! Dogs are SEC champions. Dogs have won it.
Well, that was I love hearing those local calls. There's just nothing better than that, except you, of course. You're the best, but I just give that local flavor. What a moment here. ETN, he leaves Florida, decides to come to Georgia, and has provided such a spark for this team. He's a champ. He said he's never experienced anything like this. He's been a great individual player, but he's never been on a championship team.
What a moment for Stockton. He engineered 7 drives, Kirk, in the second half. 2 of them for touchdowns, 2 of them for a field goal, and the winning points there in overtime.
And for Texas, what could have been 11 flags, 2 missed field goals, sacked again 6 times, had their moments, had some drops. But at the end, it's Etienne and that offensive line getting it done.
So Georgia, as SEC champions, will get one of those top 4 seeds and a bye until New Year's Day, most likely in New Orleans. That's where the SEC champion is targeted. Texas figures to host a playoff game. That'll be determined tomorrow when the rankings and the bracket is revealed. What a classic, the first ever SEC overtime championship game. Bill Bunnell produced it. Jimmy Platt directed it for everybody our entire career. Kirk, Holly, Laura, and Bill Lamagna. Chris Fowler saying so long from Atlanta. Dogs on top. Back to